Mhm.
Oh god, I am off the side of the damn. Hello, everybody. 1 second while I fix myself, because apparently I'm.
You look where our ship is relative to the Alpha Quadrant.
Exactly.
You are definitely not in the Alpha Quadrant yet.
Or something.
Off.
But yes, hello, everybody. We're doing things today. Stuffs and things.
You bet, yeah.
Uh, why don't why don't you guys introduce yourselves, starting with Luke, our captain?
Hi, I am the captain currently, or acting captain. My character's name is Kyber. I am an Orion female, and that is my character. I'm just trying my best to get through this world.
Moving
I'm
on.
throwing elbows
Moving
lightly.
Or
moving
something.
on. Bells.
Hi, I'm Bells. I'm playing Pavash, the Chief Medical Officer. I am also an Orion, but I'm the only male amongst the player base, which is a little intimidating for an Orion male. I also may or may not be in trouble with an admin, but we'll see how that goes.
Oh boy.
Mumbles.
Hi, I'm currently playing Zadia Vey. She is the chief science officer of the ship and a betazoid. Ready to have some fun.
Nami.
Hey, I'm Poke Nami, or just Nami. I'm playing Jenny, who's a Trill, and she's the primary engineer on the ship. Um, she loves her ship more than anything else.
She's not happy with what happened last session.
No, you wrecked my ship.
I did no such thing. There was some kind of space anomaly that wrecked your ship. Anyway, Rain.
I'm trained. My character is Tavani, the other female. Are we twins? No, not twins. I forget.
Pavani is Pavash's older sister.
Okay, we're like a year older, I think. Does Bells remember? 'Cause I don't.
No, Pavani's the older one. Pavash is the younger one.
Yeah, but by how much am I older? I can't remember.
I think we decided on a year.
Okay, yeah, okay, yeah. So she's a year older. She is the chief of security of the ship, and she's trying not to let her brother be in trouble.
Mm. And for everyone who doesn't know me, I am Funday, also known as Aaron. There's so many numbers after my name sometimes I don't even know. So just call me Funday or Aaron. I am a variety streamer here on Twitch. I play a variety of games, mostly collabs with my friends because it's only the time that's the only time I have motivation to stream. Anyway, I am also going to be your lovely DM tonight. Ugh. Moving on. Last
Lovely
time
something.
we left
Wink,
off.
wink, nudge, nudge.
Yes. Last time we left off, we you guys had sailed off. The ship's maiden voyage. You were supposed to head to Starbase 12, where some of you would be transferred to other crews, other ships. Um,
Mhm.
sorry, I'm reading chat. Where you guys would be transferred to other crews, other ships. When suddenly you guys hit something in space while you guys were in warp, and you got thrown to the far flung side of space. Further than. Uh, hold on. Pull up my map once more. Uh, you guys got thrown to the other side of Klingon space, and by other side, I mean very far other side of Klingon space. It was not a pretty picture for you all. And that's where we are kind of starting, because you guys made repairs to your ship. There was a structural breach, a breach to the engines, I do believe, and
It
another
was to
breach. Sensors.
Not
There was
just
this.
shields, the sensors. Yep.
Yes, one of the sensors as well. You guys were able to see that there was a inhabitable and inhabited star system very close to you all. You were able to see that there was you were able to get some basic scans that they were warp capable and that they uh, you could see that they had ships, but you weren't able to get any more information because of the sensor's damage. After 6 hours, you were able to 6 in-game hours. You guys were able to fix the breaches to the sensors, structure, and the engines. So your ship is once again in tip-top shape. And that is when your science officer detected that the ships that you guys had got very basic scans of earlier were closer to you guys. They are within, I want to get very technical, they are now within long range, which at this point, none of your weapons can actually hit them, just for reference. You are in yellow alert, so your shields are up. I think that was about it.
Other than that, I think our chief medical officer may have committed a war crime, or well, I guess since it's our own fleet or our own
If it's the own crew, it's only an
employee, I think it's okay.
internal affair as opposed to a war
Mm.
crime so far.
Yeah,
Mm.
so far it's only
So you're saying that we can commit quote unquote things equal to a war crime to our own thing, but it's not considered it. Only
I
considered
did.
It's only
internal
a-
affairs. Got it.
It's only
I-
a war
You're
crime
only-
if it's the
I-
second
You're
time.
only in trouble if anyone reports it.
It's
Which,
very
you know,
true.
might be Tavash's issue, but you know.
I do.
Yeah,
I do want to point out that last session, your acting captain became captain because the previous captain of your ship died while holding on to Kyber's hand.
Totally not our fault.
I believe
He
in
never even
seatbelts, but I am not in fact a seatbelt.
he never even got to sit down in the captain's seat.
That is very true.
He's had 3
Give
let
it
years.
to Kyber instead.
he let
Yeah.
It's
Kyber
like
do
he
it.
knew it was coming.
But yes, I do have to ask: have you updated in the ship's computer that the captain is dead? You have decided to leave the information that to the rest of the crew that he is dead a secret. But have you told the computer that the status of the captain is deceased?
Have not.
All right.
I was waiting for the repairs to be done, and then entering in that information.
Understood.
Which means right now is a great time for me to update the current status of the previous captain.
Give me 1 second.
Why do I feel like this is not? Just walked into that one.
No, it's not a bad thing. I'm just
Okay.
it's a roll. It's not. It's an OBS thing. I needed to switch our scenes here,
Oh, okay, you're good.
and I also need.
I was trying to find a way to make a note so I know I'm a year older than Tavares, but I can't even find it. I'll write it down somewhere.
So. There we go.
If you're still watching ads in 2025, you're doing something wrong. If you're tired of being bombarded,
Also quiet while
Yeah.
Aaron does his thing.
Sorry about that.
So quiet.
Oh,
So
look, ad break.
quiet.
Okay.
I like that observation.
Yeah.
That's how I like
Yeah.
to run my ships.
Right.
Pink,
So
black,
That
green,
was
blue,
quiet.
red. Like Power Rangers.
Exactly.
anyway, so you. Oh, we are
In
in an
space.
we are in an ad break. I just realized that, but
Yeah.
yes. So you guys are currently. Sorry, Kyber. You are updating the computer,
Yes.
and sorry, catching a Pokemon. Anyway, so you're updating the computer, and you, just real quick, tell me how you are currently feeling as you're inputting this information into the system.
I'm currently feeling a bit frustrated at the fact that under my command we've already lost not just a crew member but the captain of the previous captain of the ship. And right now I am, while updating the computer, running through different scenarios that might lead us to make the right decision in this case, especially with this new ship getting closer.
So, what I am going, sorry, something that I forgot to do last session, and something that I'm doing now. Technically, the way that this is supposed to work I'm sorry, what I'm specifically mentioning here is your momentum. Every time
Okay.
a scene changes, your momentum is supposed to go down by 1. So you're not always supposed to be sitting at 6. From my memory, we did a scene change when we were doing Ivani's interaction with the crew in the holodeck with the Mortal Kombat. Then we had a scene change when we were dealing with no, sorry, the first scene change would have been Jenny with the engineering crew. Then the next one would have been Tavani, and then the third one would have been when we were dealing with Kyber and the crew member who
Aaron Johnson or Andrew Johnson.
Andrew Johnson. Yeah.
Andrew Johnson.
Shut up, Johnson.
At the beginning of each session, you guys start with 0 momentum, unless there's a situation where I believe that keeping your momentum is preferable. Usually this will be like during combat. I was going to remove, or like only remove the 3 momentum from you guys, but I think it would be better if we start with 0 momentum this session, just so that we can keep kind of continuity going via the rules, not via the, because there's no combat going on right now, so there's kind of a lull unless you guys want to suddenly start firing on somebody.
You might want to
I would
throw
like to
some.
not have combat immediately.
Agreed.
Yep, I agree.
All right, so you are sorry. Continue on, Kyber. How?
Oh yeah. So right now, definitely frustrated at having a death on board the ship. Now, and so right now, just planning out potential next steps with this ship that none of us can identify origin of. So having to prep myself for a potential first contact.
May I make a suggestion, Captain?
Yes.
We let out an SOS beacon, see if they can help us.
Is noted. Is Tavani on the deck?
That is a good question. Tavani, where are you right now? Crane.
Hello?
He's too busy in your chat.
Hear the space toilet flush. I'm coming.
It's currently like sloshed somewhere.
We're gonna go with no.
The commons.
Tavani is not
Yeah.
on the deck right
Tavani's
now.
on deck. Okay.
Oh,
Oh,
his
I
mic
know
broke.
now.
His mic broke.
Tavani has
Oof.
passed out.
Communications down. Got it. Fair enough. Let's see. Yeah. You're what's Zadia's position again?
Science officer.
Science officer. Okay. Do I? Let me see. Do I know if that would be a potential protocol within Klingon territory to put out an SOS beacon?
So you would know that you are on the other side of Klingon. You're in
Yeah, we're
unexplored
Okay.
space right now.
Got
like
it.
you
Yes, we're not in.
Yeah, you're not in
Okay.
Klingon territory. You are in uncharted, unexplored space right now.
Okay.
We are far past it. We don't know what territory we're in.
Correct.
It all everything's been fixed on the ship, so I think that is a good direction to send out an SOS. What I'm trying to see.
Right.
I will. Yeah. So I'll prep for the SOS. Oh yeah, let's prep for the SOS beacon. I guess we can put that in all friendly languages that I can go through.
All right. So you send out a SOS beacon. Admittedly, you guys do not have a communications officer at the moment. So you pretty much just turn to Mumbles and be like, Mumbles. Not Mumbles, sorry. Zeta. Send out the beacon.
Wait, didn't you give us a
Where's the-
communications officer
I did not.
So, like,
in the
you-
NPCs?
No,
Nope.
we have
You have a counselor, which is the ship brain doctor, pretty much, but you do
And-
not have
Wait,
a.
what
Mine is
about
the
Lenara? What is that?
That-
driver.
that's pilot.
She's the
Oh,
pilot.
she's the pilot.
Yeah. Lenara is the pilot. You have I forgot to put Devoni's.
Devoni is just the astro navigator, right?
Yeah, he's the astronav. Thank you.
Yeah, typically
Mm,
communications would
map.
either be through operations or science. So in this case, it probably would be Zadia.
Like, we need a new AI NPC. Let's go. We can just claim that they're in the med bay right now because they also got hurt.
Well, I was gonna
Yeah,
say
yeah.
like
can
that
say it later.
is that is something that like me and later on me and Luke can talk about if he wants to promote a communications officer.
I don't mind taking on the role in the moment, though.
Sure. I just point to you. Go. As of
Yeah.
right now, you're the acting communications officer.
Yeah. Yep.
Promotion.
Congratulations.
promo-
No promotion right now. Don't have the funds.
Ah!
Promotion in title and job duties, but not pay.
Yeah. You know, the important things. It's for experience and exposure. Sorry.
So we're keeping our shields up as well, right?
Yes. Yeah, as long as we're in yellow alert.
Okay, then yeah. I'll set on the beacon.
Yeah. But we're not gonna point our guns anywhere in any direction or lock anything like that yet.
That is a good kind of turnover as Zeta, as you are putting in all the things that you need to set out the beacon, and you pretty much just hit the launch button after you get it all set up. The camera is looking at you. You have a couple of options right now. Now that the ship, the unknown vessel, is within scanner range, well, better scanner range, you're able to scan them once more, if you wish.
Scanner
I would
range.
like to, yes.
Alrighty.
I would like to learn what they are.
So yeah,
You
roll
may-
me a. Sorry, go ahead.
Oh, I was gonna say, yeah. You don't need my permission, but I'm giving you the thumbs up.
Understood.
Uh,
What am I rolling for here?
yes. 1 second. There we go. Okay. Sorry, I'm getting some things set up here. Roll me. This would be a. No, not computer. Sorry, it's been a hot minute since we've looked at this. Everybody, give us a second. So it will be either a insight or reason. Well, no, sorry. You tell me what you want to roll for this. Usually, I can tell you. Normally, it'll be a insight or like insight science. But
Yeah, I can do that.
all right.
Those are my two highest. And then task roll, is that just one or two?
Two.
Ooh.
I do need someone to roll for the ship, which will be a computers plus computers plus science. Only one person.
Who wants to roll for the ship?
Typically, I would suggest your captain, but that is up to him.
I was gonna probably say Ginny. If
Computers and science?
Science.
And it is just one die?
Just one die.
Complication range?
One die for me as well?
Does that matter?
No, so Mumbles, you get to roll 2 unless. Oh, well, actually, you don't have anything to buy with more. And complication range, keep it, for the ship, keep it at what it is.
Oh, it was at 2.
It was at
Let
2.
me redo that. Oh,
Oh.
that's a lot worse.
That is a lot worse.
Oops.
I will keep. I'm gonna.
I'm not rolling.
I'm gonna keep your previous roll for it, cause
yes,
it was fine. So that's 2. So Mumbles, do you have any scanning related focuses?
Not necessarily. No, I just have a bunch of science related, so botany, infectious diseases, virology.
Yeah.
genetics.
All right. So you don't have any focuses. You keep the complication range at 1. 1 second while I reread untapped potential. Yeah. Okay. So keep complication range at 1, and task roll is 2.
Okay.
Alrighty, that is fairly good. So you only needed
all according to my plans.
I need to double check rules for scanning, but I'm fairly certain it is a whatever I want it to be type of situation, and I don't mind it having been a 0 difficulty. Yeah, we'll just keep it as a 0 difficulty thing. So now you are able to ask up to 3 questions. Yeah, up to 3 questions.
Okay.
And this is, of course, this is something that you can take recommendations from your team as well.
Alright. Let's see. First question.
Sorry,
Are there
hold
any
on.
special like insignias or?
Sorry, just let me rephrase that. So, you guys get 3 momentum from doing this. So you guys have 3 momentum. So that means you get to ask up to 3 questions. There we go. That's what I meant for that.
Oh, okay.
Mm.
Okay.
Okay, so 1 question would be insignias, yes?
Yeah. Are there any special insignias or logos or anything on the ship?
Yeah. So, you do see a insignia. It is here. Let me just grab a picture because it's similar to the Federation symbol. But there are some major differences. So, for those of you who do not know, where is my? There it is. I'm like, where is Discord?
Okay.
All right. So, pull this up on stream real quick, just so that everybody can see it. Boop. Open. Definite. Big. Smaller. Thank you. All right, great. So, everybody on stream can now see this is the logo for the Federation. At least it's one of the logos. I just did a quick Google search. We're just using it for reference. So what you see on the ship is the laurel leaves, the thing around the edge of the circle. That is there. But in the middle, there are stars. So, like the little like circles in the background that you see, those are there. But instead of the 3 like bigger stars that you see in the center of the logo of the Starfleet or the Federation logo, you see 3 different symbols. One is one that you somewhat recognize. Especially you, Mumbles. Hold on, let me double check something real quick. I just need to double check your. Actually, no, your character probably. Well, I don't remember your character's backstory, but you might recognize this. It is a mythological creature of normally human origin. You would recognize it as a griffin.
Okay.
And then there are 2 creatures that you're not entirely sure on. One looks to be like a multi-legged horse, and the other appears to be a oh, sorry, no, actually you would recognize the 3rd symbol because it's kind of a universal symbol. It's the symbol of a crown.
Okay.
With 4 well, they kind of look like stars only because they aren't painted. You're probably guessing that it's a crown with 4 different kinds of gems in it, or just like 4 gems in general. In particular, that 3rd symbol, the crown, is at the top. It's like currently sitting at the top, with the griffin and the multi-legged horse as smaller symbols underneath it.
Okay.
Something else that you recognize is that this ship has a label, like a name that you see. And since I do believe in Star Trek, most languages are based off of similar thing. I guess I can't remember the lore behind it, but it's the way that the universal translator works. Like, there are some words that are not words, but like brain power heart. Anyway, the ship translates the symbol or the letters on the ship, and it tells you that the ship's name is the sorry, let me double check my notes. Scroll wheel wipe. There we go. Hi. It is the ISS Dragovich.
Dragovich?
Yes.
Okay. All right.
For reference, that is Dragovitch.
Okay. I'm gonna turn to the rest of the team and say, all right. So, according to the scanners, it looks like we have an ISS Dragovich coming towards us. And you said this is a Federation?
No, it is not a Federation ship. It's not a ship that anyone in the Federation has seen. I was just using the Federation symbol as this is kind of what it looks like with the changes that I have presented.
Okay. All right. It's not a ship of any origin that we know of, so definitely confirmed. We are going to be making first contact, as far as I'm aware.
Could we, because we have 3 scans,
You have
essentially, or 3
you have
questions.
Yeah, you have 2 more questions that you can ask, but that will use up all of your momentum.
Okay. Can I confer with Zadia on potential scan items to look for, or some? Is that okay?
Yeah.
Is it possible to should we scan for potential, like, almost like ship class size? Like, how large is this ship? Potential.
Oh, that's
I
a
will
good
give you.
idea.
Sorry, I will
See if
give
there-
you.
See if there's like weapons.
I will give
Yeah.
you that one for free. It is
Okay.
a size 3 ship, and it
And what
should
ship size are ours?
Gear size 6, but let me double check.
Banana for scale.
Yeah. 6
You are
bananas,
sorry.
please.
You are a scale 5 ship,
Scale
Okay.
5.
so they are significantly smaller than you are.
Okay.
Okay. Then I guess we'll just need to wait for a response beacon, or is there any way that they'll be able to like converse with us, not face to face?
Potential comms. We could keep a line.
Potential comms.
Yeah. Just mute us, space zoom style.
Space zoom, yeah.
Yeah.
You got teams in there.
Yeah, he did. No, we're
Discord?
Google Meet. Oh, shit.
Oh shit.
An open
Hold
Discord
on,
server?
let me get-
That's not. God. But yeah, I would keep a potential comms open, just to the bridge here. I guess another thing. I'm trying to think. So we got that one for free. Are they locked? Can we scan if they're locked onto us, or if they're just floating our direction? The potential.
Yeah, that's something. Well, that's up to
I'm
Mumbles.
not sure if that's something we can just do.
That
Okay.
that would definitely be a question that you could ask. But technically it is up to Mumbles if she wishes to use one of the
True,
points
true.
for
No.
that.
Yeah. All my suggestions are at Mumble's discretion on that one. Just like I don't know if that's something might be worth it or not, or should I hold off?
I don't know if is it worth using a momentum to ask if they're coming for us, or do we just know that?
Yeah, we do know they're coming in our direction. I
Yeah,
don't know.
You do know that they are
Yeah,
coming
I
in your
assume they're going.
Yeah, then yeah, we're fine. Yeah, we don't need to ask for that then.
I know
Yeah,
that it
I
was
guess we'll just wait.
sorry, I should say that Mumbles, you did say earlier something about asking about weapons. That could be a question that you could ask.
Yeah.
Okay.
All right. So, what in particular would you like to know about their weapons? If they have them, if they're currently like locked on to you via their weapons.
Yeah, if we're currently like within or in sort of like some sort of range of like, and if we're locked in or locked on.
All right. So, you are not currently locked on with weapon.
Okay. Cool. Then
I will tell you that they do appear to have them, but they are not. They are not coming at you with hostile intent at the moment.
Yeah.
Okay. Shit. All right. Then yeah, I guess it's just good to wait and see then at this point.
As you,
Our
sorry, go ahead.
our shields are, I guess, up.
Yep.
To full power.
Yep.
And on. At
Yep.
full. Okay. Making sure.
No problem. As you are relaying all this information, Zeta, you actually get a pop-up on your console, telling you that you are being hailed by the ISS Dragovich.
Ah, good. All right.
Uh,
Permission to answer the hail?
I'm doing like those, like, wave your hands back and forth, like. Right. But no one can see it though. But obviously you can feel it in your brain.
The captain is nervous.
No, the captain's doing great. Captain is full
Sounds good.
has 10 toes on the ground on this. Okay.
You haven't killed yourself on your watch, so you're already doing better than the last
Yeah.
one.
Already doing
10 toes?
pretty
Oh,
well.
yeah.
Yeah.
What toes does Kyber have?
You're not allowed to know that right now.
I don't want to know what your feet, you know? No, I'm just gonna stand behind the captain, cross my arms before we start doing the hail.
Yeah, just look like tough. Are
I'm
they
not
gonna be able to
trapping
see
shit,
me?
though.
Is this a video chat or
Yes,
why
it's
do
coming
I
in
do
as
just
a
just
video.
voice?
It's
I'm
coming in
gonna
as a
stand
video.
behind Kyber.
I'm
Just like
answering
searching
the-
for
I'm
a cool
answering the hail.
background right now. All
Oops.
right, let them through. Yeah, you connect.
Last time I
All
fucking
right.
fucking make
So
them
a man appears on your screen. I'm gonna delete the reference image.
Cool.
Picture. And let me get it set up for. There we go. Sorry, I was getting it set up for the stream as well because I want everybody to see this. He says, a man pops up on your screen and he looks like this, and he also introduces himself. This is Dagon Ep Volterra. We have
Does-
received your hail, or not your hail, your SOS. We are here for aid.
Does Zadian know that that the first thing that came to my mind was, oh no, he's hot.
No,
Ah,
you
I'm just
wouldn't.
gonna lean back in my chair a little bit.
Nada probably wouldn't have not got that, but you might have got that flush of lust.
Probably a good thing that
Whoa.
Tavani feels nothing.
Whoa. Okay. So that's
Motherfucker, boy.
is that Dagon or Dragon? I think there's a D in there.
Dagon. It's technically it's drag. It's if I remember correctly, it was supposed to be like dragon, but not this Dragon. It's supposed to be Dragon. There we go.
Dragon. Got it.
Thank you. I gotta put that.
So I'm just putting no so I say it right. Dragon. Okay, so he introduced saying that he or they received our distress. beacon.
Sorry, I should say he actually introduces himself as Prince
Jesus Christ.
Dragon Ep Volterra, captain of the ISS Dragovich, and we have received your call for aid. There we go. That is what he says.
Perfect. I'm gonna
So,
put something together here to say.
yeah, no problem. As you are doing that, there is a part of this picture that does not. It's striking for everybody, but does not come across very well in the picture. He looks exactly like that. He is dressed like that. He is sitting on a throne in the middle of what you would probably guess is like the captain's seat. The only difference is that his eyes, they are blue. You can tell that they are like blue in color, but they're also glowing blue. Like they are visually glowing a blue color.
Got it.
Not
A spice
entirely
addict.
Ordinary human.
Not a spice addict. I kind of forgot about that.
I guess it'd be better if I stand up. I think that'd be more respectful. I stand up and I say, she said Prince. Let's say Prince
Oh.
Dragon. Oh, go ahead,
Sorry. Also, he wouldn't have said captain. He would have said commander.
Commander. Got it.
I forget my own imperial titles. Don't mind me.
Prince Dragon, commander of the ISS Dragovich. My name is Captain Kyber of the USS Dentalian. Thank you for answering our distress call. We appreciate your time making sure or answering our call.
He gives you a nod. Being honest, Captain Kyber, we were coming out here to investigate anyway. We saw a large flash of light from our solar system, and we were concerned. Nothing like this has ever happened before. Like that had ever happened before.
I nod. I was like, yes. Definitely an odd situation for sure, for both parties here. I want to apologize first for entering your space without proper identification. Unfortunately, that was something we did not have the option to give, given our current situation.
He kind of waves it off. He's not a problem. A call for aid. Sorry, no, he wouldn't have said that. He would say, it's not much of a problem. This is neutral space.
Let's see.
But he does look very curious. Either way, I should say, he looks very curious, especially when you're like entering his space. Like he looks like you are like, the way that he's looking. He's curious about you, obviously, like very obvious. But he's also very
Huh.
curious about the fact that you just you don't know that this is neutral space.
Yes.
I suggest that we explain to him how we got into this predicament.
Yes. I turned the mute back off. uh, I'd like to be completely upfront with you, given your hospitality. Here's the situation that we have found ourselves in. We are actually traveling to one of our stations on a completely different side of the galaxy here. And during mid jump, we hit an anomaly, which ended up hurting part of our ship and leaving us here in open space without our direct communications and scanning tools currently functioning. So the situation that we have here is that we are a little bit lost.
That is very unfortunate. If there's anything I can do to help, please let me know. I have engineers on board who are able to assist in repairs.
Has something like this happened before? Have you found like this crack of light? Has this happened in your area of space before?
I would need to check the Imperial records, but I do not think so.
I do a quick power mute and look over. I guess I look over to our Astro Navigator.
I would. I'm going to suggest to the captain if we could have navigational details, or like maybe a general like map sent over to us.
Yeah,
so that we can update our information.
That's what I was thinking too. Like, how can we get whatever extra information we can get on our location and maybe some good jump points that we might be able to hit. Unmute. We'd very much appreciate right now an updated map of the current system and navigation points.
He nods and says, "Of course, I can have that sent over to your ship momentarily." As he looks off to the left, probably at his own either computer expert or astro navigator, and he apparently gets a nod because he turns back and he says, "Momentarily, it'll be sent over to you momentarily."
Thank you.
Then, technically, this would go through Mumbles. So Mumbles, you get a little, pretty much it's a prompt on your console asking, "Would you like this data packet? Would you accept this data packet?"
Approved.
All right. And the moment that you approve it, your Astro Navigator starts typing away on his own console. And he nods and says, "Oh, whoa, that's big." And he's kind of looking in wonder at his console at the moment.
The Astro Navigator.
Yes, your Astro Navigator.
Yeah. Devani. Yeah. Devani, what first glance thoughts?
First glance, I was right. We're about 500 light years, even at warp. pretty much he tells you 500 years away at max warp from Klingon space. Also, this empire of theirs is huge. Bigger than Federation space. I'd say it might be a weird combination of Klingon and Federation space. Plus, maybe a little bit of Romulan space, depending on how you look at it, as he kind of like turns his head to the side of it. All I
just
gotta
nod.
say is they're huge.
Yeah, this is large. Got it.
We're just casually leaving this guy in space zoom mute this whole time.
No. I have a really cool like GIF that plays. Obviously, just like hold on a second. Boom, boom. Here's the history of our federation, and a little video that plays. It's like welcome to onboarding. No, goes a lot quicker than that. I hope. Thank you. We just received it. Everything. But everything looks I don't try not to be mean and say legible. Like it's like no, this is perfect. We loaded into our computer, and yeah, everything works out here. Is it possible for us to trying to see, do we want to make dock somewhere, like and kind of potentially, or if that's just getting a little too crazy. Where is the closest or I'm wondering, should we ask to make or to potentially meet at a neutral area or a place to dock
We're
our ship,
kind of
or is our
in
ship
a
pretty much
neutral area.
good?
Usually,
Yeah.
so you
I
would know.
would suggest, is our ship able to have a class 3 ship like theirs dock ours?
No, you are slightly too big for that. Or sorry, they are slightly too big for that.
Understood. Okay, then yeah, we would have to land somewhere.
Okay. Yeah, I would say yeah, or if they have a space station that even works with.
So a
Docking
few
our ship.
things that I will point out. You would know that your spaceship, the way it is designed, you could spend all 300, 500, however many years you need to, in space on your spaceship without ever having to land. The ship will, unless something breaks, which you have a amazing engineer who will probably be able to fix it. Your ship will be able to synthesize whatever you need to fix whatever you need, or food, whatever. Like you have everything you need on the ship. You would there's no real reason to leave the ship unless you want to.
Yeah, still trying to figure out all the dynamics of Star Trek. I probably should have said at the beginning, I am the most new to Star Trek.
Yeah,
I would
that's
say,
fine.
out of anyone.
So
yeah,
mainly admittedly, the only reason the Star Trek, like in Star Trek, why anybody ever leaves the ship is because they've been ordered to by Starfleet. You don't have that luxury. Because they want to explore, because they want to explore a planet, which is captain's prerogative. You can always do that whenever you want. Or because someone has asked for help, and it's kind of Starfleet's part of. I think it's part of the Prime Directive is to help people, as long as it doesn't cause cultural contamination.
Okay, I think I'm ready to talk to the friends again. This is all happening in my head at super light speed.
Yes.
Got it. Thank you for the maps again. Since we are new to this area, if you don't mind, we'd love to know a bit more about, I guess, your I think they said it was the Empire, right? They call themselves an Empire?
Yes, they said.
What do they call themselves?
You would actually have this information because it would have been sent over. Sorry, 1 second.
I'm currently just a little giddy in my seat because it's like, oh my god, new things to learn.
You
I don't know.
have a Spark Notes
Sorry,
on your
sorry.
entire history? That'd be really nice.
So they say, as your astronavigator has like kind of turned the map that they sent over to you,
Mhm.
he's kind of turned it into because you can do this. You have hollow projectors on the bridge that allow you to do this. He has turned it into like a 3D model that he can like touch and move around. And he has it in like kind of the overview,
Mhm.
which you can actually see. You are currently sitting in the middle of a stretch of space in between the Volterra Empire, Valterra Empire, and that would be pretty much, if you're looking at it, just like looking at it map wise, it would be in the northern part of this map, and in the southern part, not as big, but there is still like a definitive line across the entirety of like the southern part of the empire's like what is it borders. There's like a neutral zone for the entire line here. The southern part, there are a bunch of different factions that have like small clumps of space. But the biggest one, and the one that is closest to this marker, to this neutral zone, it is just called House House Kavash. House Aabsh.
I'm gonna need that one more time here. So, we're in the middle of the main
Oh,
map here, like
yeah.
middle of the open, like neutral space.
Mhm.
Surround in between the Volterra.
Yeah,
Is that
so
right?
to the north is Volterra, and to the south are multiple different factions, but the biggest one is House Kavash.
So, house. Spell that one more time. Sorry.
Too many R's in that.
Oh, perfect.
Actually, that actually should be Kavash. I can't spell my own damn countries. Don't mind me.
Okay, perfect. And their House Kavash is what we're.
Yeah, that is the name of their faction, is House Kavash.
Okay. All right. Yeah. So, I asked them. Us being new to the area, we would love to learn. We'd love to trade, information of ourselves and to learn more of, House Kavash, if you'd allow it.
There for everybody's notes.
Thank you.
He nods, and when you want to learn more about House Kavash, you kind of see like a very slight but still noticeable like flash of, you're pretty sure it's disgust or at least disdain kind of crosses his face. It's like, of course, if you are amenable, we can speak in the palace. And he pretty much sends over another thing that you have to approve, mumbles, but it's pretty much just it just says in the thing like plot trajectory, or yeah, you accept it, and on the little like 3D model that your astronavigator has, you see the plot, the route. There we go. Is to that planet that you had seen earlier that was inhabitable.
Mm. I nod. I think we need to think it over. Landing or is this? I'm thinking to myself. Zadia can only read emotion. Is that right?
No, I can read
Thoughts.
not emotion.
Oh yeah, you can read.
don't-
You can read thoughts. It's the other one that can read. I apologize. That was my fuck up.
I give a little bit of a hesitation, knowing we know that she can read them, right? Yeah.
Mhm.
We,
Am
I
I able
give
to
a
read
little
them
bit of-
through the screen? I thought they had to be like.
You can't read their thoughts, but
no,
you
my
ha-
thoughts.
Yeah, you can read the
Yeah,
captain's.
I'm gonna send over my thoughts, just of
Oh,
like
okay.
hesitation on, or like I'll say curiosity on landing or going to this palace, when honestly our main objective is to get, or it should be to get home, but this being a completely new, since this is a first contact with someone that isn't outright attacking us. Seems like something
Okay.
that we might need to for the betterment of exploration.
Hi, Lucy.
How far away? How long will it take us to get to that castle, and how deep is it within the galactic map they gave us?
It'll probably take you a little under an hour. And
1 hour, so
it appears to be right on the edge of the neutral zone.
okay.
You get the feeling that by looking at this map, the Empire was probably much bigger, but there must have been something that happened that caused the southern half to split away. Because you can, like, just looking at this map, you can tell that the palace that he wants to take you to is most likely their home planet.
Okay.
So most likely the southern half of this map was once a part of the Empire, and then something happened and caused the southern half to break away.
All right.
I would suggest that we follow with the navigation
Mhm.
that he sent us. In this current situation, it would be best to basically just know as much as possible as we can in this area, while we're still in a friendly
terms.
on friendly terms.
Yeah. I nod. Thank you. We're honored to meet you at your castle, Ecosella Castle, at your location. We will find orbit above, and then we'll reach out once we arrive. We'll send communications.
I'm sure we can actually get an escort.
Yeah, probably.
He
I guess we
actually
could
would say that
would escort our ship.
Yeah, he would.
Yeah.
He would escort us.
Yeah, he
Cool. Perfect. All right. We will follow your lead.
Right. I am going to roll for your your pilot, just to generate some more momentum for you, because this would count as a scene change, so you would lose
Mhm.
your last momentum. Ooh, nice.
Oh, yeah.
That's
Nice.
4 momentum you guys just gained.
Be
Perfect.
This is why, for reference, your pilot has both warp drive and helm operations as focuses. So if that was her using her focus.
Hell yeah.
Perfect. No, she's great. Yeah.
That's 5, right? 2, 4 plus 1, 5, and then we will drop it down by 1 for the scene. Great. So, you guys make your way. Actually, she also would have been helped by the ship. So, just to see if I can generate some more momentum, which I should. This is literally one of your higher. This is literally your highest roll. Yeah, she generated 2 more momentum. So that would have been 6. One of it would have fallen away. So you guys get 5. There,
I'm looking over at, like, I'm thinking of Tavani right now, like, don't hit on her. She's mine. No. don't do it. No, I'm gonna out of character. Nah, man, I'm gonna steal Lemestra. Sorry, Devani. Too bad. Sorry.
Yeah, no, you're good. So you make your pilot navigates through both warp and what is it called? Impulse. You make your way to the planet that comes up in your systems as.
Question.
Yes.
Within this hour, would it be beneficial for us to let the rest of the ship know, along with the current status of the captain, or of the
Yes.
late captain?
I was gonna suggest we do something like that on the way there, if possible.
Yeah. That is perfectly fine.
Essentially
So that can be a closed loop there.
Yeah, and Tavani needs to know too, given the fact that we're meeting new people and our our chief of security probably needs to be on board with that.
Tavani is here. I don't have time to vote.
Oh, okay. Sorry, I
Ryan's been listening.
you snuck in. You snuck
Tavani
into
was
the back door.
Tavani was standing behind you, but
Oh,
never
okay,
seen
okay,
her.
that's right. Yeah.
no one commented on it, but she was.
You're right. Tavani may not need to be informed, but Tavash does.
Tavash, yes, Tavash does need to be informed.
You won't mind if Tavani goes into the weapons room and devises a backup plan.
You know what?
Tavani's not
Do that.
stupid. Tavani's not stupid. I don't like him.
hail Tavash to come to the I hail I guess all officers need to come to the deck.
Acknowledged.
I think Tavash is the only one really missing,
I think
unless
so.
you also want to grab our counselor. I'm assuming our tactics officer is here.
Yes, your
Think so,
tactical
yes.
officer is back there.
Since I'm technically not both, but
Well, the counselor does help
tactics,
with
yes.
like, I don't know, like this is might not be bad to have everyone head of all departments here on just in the loop on this.
Jenny's
So
been here
sure,
the
we'll
whole
bring
time,
Lemester
fighting
too. Why not? We'll bring her. Come on,
As well.
come on up here.
I may have to
But Jenny's
coordinate
been
with
here the whole
Tavash
time
when he gets
fighting
here,
the
though.
enemies.
What was that?
I may have to coordinate with Tavash when he gets you. Come off the side for a minute, talk to him. You know, because we're siblings, I'm like, yeah, Tavash. I'm not sure how this is gonna turn out, but we're gonna have to. Whether we're gonna have to. Don't keep your head in check. You know, me and Tavash have gone through stuff together, right? So we just being like, yeah, I don't know how this is gonna go. Keep your head about you. Might
So
need
you're
to do
saying
something
bring
with you.
2 daggers?
I think you mean bring 2 per boot. What about it? 2 per boot? 2
So
per,
this is actually-
2 per bicep.
Actually, this is a good time to bring something up.
Just know the
Mainly,
captain? Shit.
well, no. Mainly, this is going to be a thing for Kyber to make kind of an approval on.
Uh-oh.
Because
Uh-oh.
I will say we are going to be switching from being in a spaceship to on a planet.
Mhm.
Are you going to allow your crew to take weapons?
If they notice that we have weapons, it's going to be very.
I already have weapons on me.
My
I think
body's
you
a
also
weapon.
have to figure out which crew are going onto the
Yeah.
planet.
Correct.
But imagine if ever like all the more officer types go, who's in charge of the ship then?
So it should be noted
Can
that
be-
you guys do have
Andrew,
a
Andrew, come to the deck.
no.
No.
So no, it should be
God, be here.
I'll break his neck.
so it should be noted that you guys do have well, first off, not everybody on the ship, like all of the officer types will be going down.
Mhm.
But if for some reason the entire bridge crew did leave the ship for one reason or another, you guys do have pretty much what is like you guys have so in Star Trek there's like the Alpha what is it called? Alpha not team, but we'll use team for because I can't
Bridge
remember.
crew.
Thank you. Yeah, the Alpha crew, pretty much, which is you guys. Like, you guys are Alpha crew. Then there's Beta, which is kind of like whenever Alpha crew is off duty, Beta is on duty. And then I think there's a Charlie or like a whatever the C is in
Yeah, that's
Greek,
Charlie.
which
Yep.
take over if Beta is off duty.
I think it's just Delta. Goes to Delta after.
Yeah, Delta.
Let's see.
And then like I think
Ooh,
there's
this is good, 'cause
also
there's a K.
yeah.
Anyway, it can vary from
English.
show to show. Most shows have it arranged in 3 shifts, but I think there was one show where they had the ship arranged in 4.
Yeah.
I just want to state, would you really want to leave me on the starship when you go into the palace, though? Not that I'm gonna take it
wait.
over, but I feel like you might want a security chief.
But yes, you guys like there are backup crew, but from Alpha Shift, most likely your pilot is not gonna be leaving only because you have
Yeah.
others who are good at piloting small craft, which is what you would most likely be taking
It's
because
like Tavani.
yeah, your Giovanni is gonna be
You're
like
coming with, whether you like it or not.
I mean, I'm also the muscle.
Get in there.
Yeah.
Um,
Fair.
Okay.
Pilot that I have.
So I bring everyone to the bridge and I update them on the current situation. Just reiterating the captain right now. I'm obviously Lemestra already knows this, given that she was working with, or actually I don't know if Tavash would have relayed that information, given that we were keeping it on the down low, but I just update everyone. All right. Here's the current situation. We are in the middle of a completely different territory. From what it looks like, there are 2 main factions. We have currently met the faction Kavash, House Kavash, which right now we are making our way to their castle for
Quick
real for essentially the real first contact. We will need to land on their planet. I will be going. Tavani will be going. I would like Tavash. I would actually like you to stay here potentially.
Acknowledged.
Zadia, I would also like you to, or actually like you to bring you also, and then Ginny, I will let you make your decision on that one. Not to just leave out
Was
Tavash or
this-
not, but I feel like our medical team probably needs to
I mean,
stay.
unless-
Not going towards the Empire of Valterra right now.
You are headed towards Volterra, yes.
Yeah, we're not going towards the House Kavash. House Kavash, I believe, is the current quote unquote enemy.
I thought you said that.
No, you guys are headed towards the Empire.
Yeah, who's under House Kavash, right?
No. House
Oh,
No.
okay.
They're on the map. They're on the
That
the
totally
Empire's
makes
in the
sense now.
north.
I'm like, why is that? Okay, sorry.
You're fine.
That's my bad. I asked a roundabout question and got confused.
It's
Okay. But that's why I probably didn't like the fact that I called them House Kavash. That's what I thought it was said. I asked who are they under, and it's like House Kavash. Like, oh, shit. Okay. Volterra. Now we're all on track here.
Yes.
So we're going to Volterra.
Apologies.
No, you're good.
You
Just-
gotta get
I think
the
I said
cap,
the wrong
get
word.
pat in the back. You're doing good. You're doing the best.
No, I knew what I wanted.
Well, unless you need an engineering officer, I would rather stay on the ship,
Okay.
and I can stay with Tavash, and we could help Team Beta.
Okay. That sounds good.
I'm just quickly scrounging up all of
So, just as a real quick, when you mention that the captain is dead,
Yes, that's gonna be
most
the next thing.
yeah. I want to put it out there so that I'm not cutting in when you actually make
Oh,
the
you're good.
speech. Most of the crew are kind of like, okay. You can tell that most of them didn't really know him. In fact, you guys probably had the most interaction with the captain on the entire ship most of the time.
was
but-
this not Count Luke Picard?
But
Do you know him? I'm pissing my pants and crying. I can't believe it.
but there actually are two people on this ship, or on one person in, actually, because there's only Alpha and Beta. There's only two. Oh well, no, there is a third one. Anyway, one person from Beta and one person from Charlie break out in tears. They start bawling their eyes out.
I cry with them.
Zeta, you can tell neither of them knew who this man was. They're like, oh no, it's the captain. They're crying just because it's the captain, not because they knew him or had any like personal connection to them.
Ah.
The captain is dead. Oh no. But yeah, go ahead with what you were gonna say.
Okay. Yes. I hail the entire ship and relay to them. Did we have any other casualties? Tavash. Besides
Nothing too serious. One of our ensigns broke a leg. A couple serious scrapes and
No other life.
yeah, no other death.
Okay. So I reach out to the comms to the ship. Crew of the Dentalion. This is Acting Commander Kyber. I want to inform everyone of the current situation. Right now, we are in neutral space. The anomaly that we hit that brought us out of warp that caused some moderate damage to the ship, which has been repaired. But during that time, during the initial collision, the captain I say the captain's name.
Mhm.
The acting that the current captain
I think I named him Luke.
was injured in the collision and had passed away. We were unable to stabilize him. So right now, I am the captain.
Look at me. I'm the captain.
I look at me. I am the captain. I'll be your acting captain at this point. I will also like to mention that our Zadia is the acting communications officer too. We have made first contact with with one of the current, or with the local faction on this in this area of space. They offered to help us, to help with our navigation. Right now, we are heading to their capital. We're an hour out. I expect everyone to keep their heads up, stay on duty, and to and if anything comes up, or if you have any, or if you notice any medical issues from the crash that we had, please visit the medical bay. If you need to talk to someone, please talk to our counselor. And all other questions, please message them through our main messaging system to the appropriate parties. Beep bloop.
We've made a Discord support group for y'all. Just go post
Yeah.
on it.
Yeah.
You know, now thoughts in my head, Benny's turning around and doing that.
Wee. Who else do we want to go down to the capital of the castle?
Looks like it's just gonna be you, myself, and Tavash. So,
Tavani?
Did you want to take Vasia?
or sorry, Tavania.
I assume Jenny's staying with the ship.
Yeah, Jenny
Vasia.
and Tavash are staying on the ship.
Do you want to leave the
Um,
tactics officer just for
yeah,
help with?
That's Vasia. She's the tactics officer. If you guys
Yeah,
want to
yeah,
take
that's
her.
yeah. You want to take her, or do you want to leave her on the ship with to help Tavash?
I'm gonna say, so tactics is space, right?
Yeah, she's
Okay.
more technically she would use the same roles.
Mhm.
She uses the same roles as your security officer. It's just that she's more of she's more ship combat than
We'll leave her here.
in fact she is
Um,
most likely going to be the one who is in charge because she is part of security technically.
Yeah, we'll leave her here.
Do I have a second in
Uh,
command for security? Just
Well,
wondering.
I mean, technically, it's whoever Kyber leaves in charge because there's no explicit XO at the moment. So,
I meant for security since I am the chief security officer.
hmm you are you're the chief of security, and it's really weird because technically, tactical deals with the ship, so it would technically fall to tactical to be like in command of the ship. And security is like in charge of like personal, like hand-to-hand security. So if on the ground you would outrank your tactics officer, but in space the tactics officer outranks you.
Also, in general, all of us who have gone through officer training have at least the ability to take temporary command.
True.
Or at least should.
It's really
Yeah.
weird, but yeah.
Just want to
Yeah,
make
we'll
sure I'm
leave
leaving.
her on the ship
That's good.
just in case.
Okay.
I guess we can take potentially two. I don't want to call them red shirts, but essentially take two other two other crew members.
I think
We
Bell
could.
said earlier in the chat it would technically be a yellow shirt in this era.
Yeah.
So 2 other yellow shirts.
Yeah.
In reference to which?
No preference. Or I guess any yellow shirt if you guys. I don't know if this
Yeah,
opens up to just
we don't have
NPCs
any.
at this point.
Yeah, it's just NPCs at this point.
I'm
Un-
assuming at some point, since Jenny works with the yellow shirts, she would know some that may be more like either better at hand-to-hand combat or more socially, you know, gifted, or someone who would be good to send with them. So she could send that, be like, hey, you guys, you should probably go. Just assuming if it's someone she's worked with on the ship, but
Okay. Yeah. I'm fine with. So outside the game, I don't want to just leave you two out of the scene. Try a way to incorporate you, but that's. I guess it's not really up to me.
Yeah.
global control.
That's where my decision's kind of coming from. But that's where I guess I'll kind of leave it here with us three, and then two others.
Yeah.
So group of 5.
Yeah.
Oh, so you're trying to get Jenny and Tavash to play the 2.
Yeah, that's what I was
NPCs
kind of
that we bring
thinking.
on?
Yeah.
Oh yeah, because that was a thing you could make in this game, right? The little like sub characters.
Yeah.
Yeah.
NPC. There are secondary characters that you can. Technically, they're like playable characters that you guys would have as like. If my character isn't currently being played, this is who. But we never really actually set that up.
Yeah, we don't.
There's enough to keep track of already with our characters
Exactly.
talking as
Yeah.
extras.
All right. Then I mean, if we're cool with doing the 3, I'm cool with doing the 3.
Yeah,
I'm
because
fine with.
yeah, and yeah, it just
Alright.
would be. Yeah.
Are we gonna discuss backup plan or no? Not just Tavani.
That is up to you.
Backup plan is the ship's guns are working, and you left us the girl who can man them.
Yeah. You guys have the best ship operator. Your astronav. You guys plot a course and just kind of, and then head towards our space and just get out towards maybe neutral zone again, if possible.
We're just gonna be your scary dog privileges behind you guys.
That's fair. Sometimes you don't have to hold the big stick. It just needs to be on the table.
Yeah.
Especially with the ship size. So.
I'm sure that they are well aware of what we have currently, but we do just. I do agree that an escape plan will be necessary just in case.
Yeah, which we can just get beamed up and just leave the teleport or leave the transport ship.
Yeah, I imagine we don't know if they have transporters, so we're gonna take a shuttle.
Yeah, that sounds good.
And
then,
obviously, I leave I have Tavash has all my security keys, obviously, because I trust him. So if he doesn't need anything,
Yeah.
he can obviously get a contact with me.
I'll
Right now,
leave.
the best thing to do is just to follow in our escort's footsteps.
Love it. Let's get
Do as they
escorted.
do.
All right.
When in Rome,
Visaya will be
do as the Romans do.
my current exo, right? For this on the ship.
Are we leaving Tavash as the EXO, or is it?
Chief Medical should not be in charge of the bridge unless absolutely necessary.
Right.
Okay.
No, Visaya.
Okay.
Visaya. The
But
tactics.
Tavash is like presiding them. Tavash is assistant. I should probably ask the captain if I'm allowed to bring any weapons with me or not.
You may bring level 1 phasers only.
Okay. Am I allowed? Can we assume there's like polymer blades that aren't metal? Because there's like metal detectors or something. I would assume there's
you
like
would-
non-metal.
You'd be able to make like some kind of weapon from non-metal.
Yeah. Something
Obviously,
sharp
I
and
have-
pokey.
Yeah, probably have a couple in my boots. Because who's gonna check
Yeah.
my boots? They pat me down.
Keep it 6 inches or under so you can hide it.
It's boot knives, bro.
So
They're boot knives. They're not gonna be over 6 inches unless I stab a boot.
all right. So some things that I want to point out.
Yes.
Typically, since actually Olive, well, Let me double check this. I just
the
want to
DM's
make
gonna tell us something.
just want to make sure that I am
Yes, please.
have all this correct.
Mhm.
Where down here, bottom. I dumb. I mean, I am dumb, but scroll. Not here. Scroll up. Yeah. So all Starfleet personnel get a Type 1 phaser as standard. So every personnel, even Jenny, has a Type 1 phaser. All
Mhm.
security personnel and all senior officers, which is all of you as well, have a Type 2 phaser. The only difference between a Type 1 and Type 2 phaser is that the Type 1s can be hidden and Type 2s cannot.
Hmm.
So, are we gonna hide them now? Because I feel like that might not go over well.
I think we'll just
Unconcealed carry, yeah.
Concealed.
open I
Okay.
think we'll open carry.
But of course,
uh,
Tavani is bringing concealed weapons.
Yes.
Just in case.
Tavani can hold the concealed weapons. We'll take a couple unconcealed and we'll just let them know, and if they want the current weapons they see, we'll give them the current weapons that they see.
Always use the open carry as a distraction, as a cover. Right?
Exactly.
What they see is what they think we have.
Yeah.
Doesn't hurt to pretend if you only have those.
Correct.
Yeah, so I already have a tricorder. That's right. So I would have a tricorder, so we'd have connection.
All
It'd be
right.
Zadia. Right? I wouldn't have one. Right? It would just be Zadia.
So
Who's Zadia? Oh, that's it. Mumbles.
What?
Sorry.
Go on.
I was like, wait, who's Zadia?
all right. So yeah. So that is standard issue.
Hmm.
If you guys wanted, you could bring something deadlier.
No.
I feel like we're trying not to piss them off, so Tavani would probably play in the safe
I have
side.
not
When in
had
doubt,
enough
just drive
time.
the ship right into the Capitol building. Just
You are not destroying my ship.
Okay, Jenny, what do you?
I have not had enough time. Well, I mean, me as a player, I have not had enough time yet to establish anything Jenny may or may not have experimented on with things like phasers. So that's
Mhm.
something that at some point Funday and I will talk about later.
Yeah.
I mean, obviously, I'd be talking with Jenny about that, though.
Jenny would 100% be someone who looks at a phaser, goes, I can fix it, and then pulls it apart to see how it works and makes something different. That may or may not work well, but you know.
Obviously, me and Jenny are working on prototype weaponry in our spare time.
the Venn diagram that overlaps them all is just danger.
I mean, I am danger. What you talking about? You see me?
You're
Right.
welcome.
So yes, you all have Type 2 phasers,
It would cost a diplomatic mission.
and
Not,
you are all using them. Now the funny
Yeah.
thing is, what they never tell me what this means, because there's a thing, and I don't know what severity. It's like so severity is a thing in this game. I think it's how much damage it does. Oh yeah, no, that's totally what that means. Okay, so yeah, you all have a weapon, and okay. It's just
What's your momentum now? Is it still
your
6 or-
momentum is 5.
Okay, so I keep forgetting this.
Yeah, not a problem. It's why I also have it on screen.
It's on the screen.
We should possibly bring, I don't want to say a gift, but something of gratitude.
Mhm.
What do
Devani
we-
considers being the Star Trek Rubik's Cube.
Star Trek. This is a Rubik's Cube with all of our most famous captains.
Or just probably.
And he'll
just-
hand it
no.
over.
I don't think Jay's gonna hand over the space Rubik's Cube.
It's only half solved.
It's like half soft. It's like not a lot of effort went into this, or maybe too much effort. I don't know what's worse.
I had to give Jenny a fidget toy. Okay, she was bored.
All right, so something that I do need to point out. So weapons in this game, other than the standard issue Type 2 and or Type 1 phasers, all have a cost.
Oh,
Yes, they have a cost.
so I didn't
So,
bring the mountain blood with me.
If you wanted to bring like an extra knife / dagger, or a knife or dagger is called hidden, is the only one like of the melee weapons that has hidden. So that's probably what you would be bringing. You need to pay a cost. It is 1 momentum to bring one extra weapon that isn't a phaser.
So Tavani's obviously probably gonna bring one, right?
So yes, it would.
How-
It
what
would
is the
definitely
captain
be.
allowance?
The reason I bring this up is because it's definitely something you need to ask the group if it is okay if you start
Most
spending.
importantly with the captain, because the captain will be telling what I can telling me what I can bring as the chief security officer.
So I would say you can bring. Let's have you bring 2. Oh, I want to say potentially 2 hidden weapons. So we use 2 of our momentum.
2 fallen boot
Um,
knives. 1 inch boot.
This way we can divvy them out a bit more, or we just split them already and give it between and probably give either me or Zadia.
Have you Zadia handled? Do you have experience with knives like this? Is a question.
I mean, if you guys also have ways of generating additional momentum in a scene, I'm like no problem with you guys using like 3 concealed stuff, so everyone would have a concealed weapon if they take the phasers.
That's if they trust. It's if they would be given one. I don't know what the experience that Kuiper and Zadia have. With the
I'd
nerd.
not have a concealed weapon.
So-
I'm confident that we shouldn't run into too much trouble.
I mean, I wasn't sure if the chief science officer would be comfortable even possessing anything but a phaser.
That's fair. And I mean, you do have people like Jenny's gonna be on speed dial in the
Oh.
bridge. She's
Eh,
not leaving the bridge. So.
I'm a dum dum.
Just what?
So as the chief of security, you have a role benefit, and this is why I was double checking. Chief of Security's role benefit: you reduce the opportunity cost, so the cost of weapons and security teams, by 1 to a minimum of 0. So you can actually just bring as many weapons as you guys want or need without needing to use momentum for it.
But only for
So-
them, not for us, right?
Technically, he can just hand that out. It doesn't
Technically,
matter.
yes.
Oh, okay, cool.
So I am wearing the long sleeve outfit? Am I wearing that jacket I'd have, or would I wear like they would have? Sunday.
Probably.
So the question is, have you seen the Wonder Woman movie? And where does she put the sword?
Down
Yeah.
my back.
You have to put it in between your back shoulder blades.
You think I'm
Kinda
gonna
hold it
bring
right there.
like I'm bringing a hidden weapon? I don't believe that a 2-handed weapon or a full-ass sword is going to fit.
So,
What about
the-
You could hide.
What about
You
the
could
Chris
also
Pine
stick
verse?
daggers like in between the chests. There you go.
I'm so against concealing any weapons. I think the phase.
I mean, I probably would have a folding knife in my cleavage, obviously. No
Yeah,
checking
because
that.
didn't with that one guy in the Chris Pinoverse, I guess how they call it, where they had like the
Bonnie's
foldable
just gonna
knife
get
goes
tripped and then a knife stabbed through her chest.
It's a folding knife.
It's
there's
folded.
nothing-
It's like quad
It's
folded.
if anything, it's probably like a fucking stiletto, like a switchblade.
Shivani's bra has been specially
walk.
made to have a sheath little holder in it
Yeah.
for a dagger.
I'll be no shit.
Tavani's
So,
bra is just razor blades.
Yeah.
I mean, I'm not saying that. There might be razor blades on the back half of Straps.
It's just all metal.
Uh-huh.
There's just magnets everywhere on
Nah,
it. So you-
nah, you're going too
Great.
much. You're doing too much. You're doing too much.
Just
all right. So we'll all have type 2 phasers.
Mhm.
I'm gonna carry a type 1 phaser also.
Mhm.
Because if they're okay with me carrying around that, they should be okay with me carrying around the concealed. Is
Mhm.
my concept. And
Well, also, you can keep that, but if I trust myself with the bladed weapons.
yeah.
Using them too.
And then yeah, you can. I'll take one knife. And then, well, no. No, yeah, I don't. No, I do focus in martial arts, which is hand to hand
Oh,
specifically.
You have any focus? You got focuses in hand to hand or what?
Just martial arts.
Oh, is that? Oh, martial arts, not hand to hand. Okay.
Grapple.
It's good to know.
I think that's just in general.
And I don't think Zadia will have any hidden weapons because
Yeah.
she thinks he was uncomfortable with it.
And then yeah, I'm cool with that. That way we have little bits here and there. Do we want to keep was it the largest version? Is it a type 3?
Phaser
Two.
rifle?
You guys, so you
The
guys,
rifle?
you guys start with a type 2,
Okay.
and then you're gonna bring a type 1. If you want to
Yeah.
bring a type 3, you can.
I would say we just leave it in the transport.
I should note that if you do bring it, there is, for a type 3 in particular, for reference, all of you, if you want, who are going and want to look at the chart that I'm looking at, in the core rulebook on page 243 is the list of different weapons, at least the kind of example weapon. I think this is no, it's
I totally
definitely
forgot
not.
to look. My bad. You should have told me this.
Definitely not the exhaustive list of weapons that you can bring. But it's
Okay,
definitely
okay,
most of them. Anything that says opportunity 1, Crane kind of negates at the moment. But escalation 2. Escalation means you give me threat if you bring that, which I can use threat to cause bad stuff to happen to you all. Currently, since it's the beginning,
Yeah.
because it's the beginning of session, I have 10 threat.
That seems like it's already enough.
I honestly, I don't think the security chief would want you bringing a phaser rifle anyway. That should get taken
Yeah.
away.
Yeah.
You
You know what?
Looking
I'm
at
glad
this,
that was a test for you.
Oh yeah, you guys.
heavy blade. I would not have a heavy blade down my back. I know Nami might have suggested that, but no.
And then
knife
sorry, just real quick. Obviously, you guys would all have your standard equipment. So like you have your communicators, your tricorders. That is all standard that you guys would be bringing with you.
Okay. I'm good with our current loadout then, not bringing the rifle. We'll just what we already said a moment ago about the phase
So
2.
every dagger we bring would add 2 severity or no?
So
What's the knife dagger's 2 severity?
so severity is how much damage they deal.
Oh, okay. Yeah, okay.
Okay, cool.
So, and I'm wearing pants and a long sleeve shirt, yeah? Or what?
That's up to you.
Well, I don't know. I'm guessing.
Most
don't care.
company
Character's
safety
wearing,
standards could
so-
probably dictate pants at least.
Yeah.
I'm not wearing a tank top or am I wearing a muscle shirt?
Are you?
Okay.
I'm fucking
Alright.
up.
I'm good with this current setup. If we're good to wait or to proceed, unless there's anything else.
I'm good.
That
So we'd probably say, you have something, Kyber, or no? You wearing a knife?
I'm gonna have a phase, a type 2, a type 1.
Mm-hmm.
And then I should be good. Is martial arts just weapons in general?
martial
is
arts,
that-
martial arts
Hand to
would
hand.
be like unarmed strike. Like it's
An arm,
Yeah.
yeah. Then I'm good with my hands. And then that'll be That'll be what I have.
Mhm.
Did we want to present something as a gift for them?
The weapon or type?
We could give them a dagger out of like with that. That's
feel like gifts
it
would
seems a little
probably
war
be
driven. I'd
appreciated
probably not that.
Yeah, so he's not gonna bend down and pull a boot knife out of a boot and give it to him. That kind of gives it a
Shot
surprise.
immediately.
Reaches
Okay.
into a cleavage, pulls out his stiletto, gives it to him.
Should
I
we?
suggest it's a wait and see approach.
Yeah, that
The
sounds
gift would
good.
definitely be an after
Yeah.
thing.
Maybe
Okay.
a couple boot knives, maybe I don't know. Probably something hidden in the cleavage, but that's just whatever.
Okay.
Just
Do you want to
something
give
simple.
the? Do we want to put on like a drive for them a very very not super like civilian level detail like of a map of our area?
You can give
That
him,
way
like a
it's
civilian now.
Well,
yeah.
they gave us an in-depth like just everything that they
Drawn.
had. in
Yeah,
their
they.
in
So
their
I should
map.
say like
What is that, Derby?
they don't have like they gave you their like where their star bases are, where their planets are,
Yeah, they
but
did
they
not
didn't
hide anything.
they
Okay.
didn't give you like here is where our current military is and our military installations.
Oh, okay, okay.
Also of note, if you want to give them a map of our space, and they want to come visit, they then have to go through an entire sector of probably hostile Klingons.
We'll,
Actually, they can
we'll let them know
Sure.
that. It'll probably be about 300 years or 500 to prepare for that, but
But I would agree that maybe giving like
a bit of information.
giving our own information, showing them where we're from and where we are trying to
In
go
case-
back to.
Yeah. In case they ask, like, okay, well, where are you really from? This right here. You
Giovanni
think we have
would
time to make
suggest
this
to-
up?
Giovanni would suggest to err on the side of caution.
Yeah,
just in
we're not
case.
we won't present it right away.
Yeah,
but-
maybe don't show a whole hand. Not on like the weapons side, but like here's a
Giving
map.
them exactly
don't
what
be,
they gave us.
To
sort
the
of, just careful what we share to them, just in case.
I'm not gonna give them our secret weapons cache.
Somebody has personal trust in them. So.
That sounds good. We'll do that. We'll get that prepared as a potential offer of peace or of thanks if that comes up.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm good on my end.
Yeah, so 3 hidden for me. Type 1, you got type 1 and type 2. Do you have any hidden or no?
The type 1
What?
is hidden.
You're big in the hidden?
Yes,
Type
the
A
type
then.
the type 1 is hidden.
Oh, the type 1's hidden.
Yeah, so,
I thought it was the type 2. Okay.
The type 2
So-
is out in the open. Type 1 is hidden.
Okay, good to know.
so not like a knife or a dagger type. You're not big enough. Just the
I-
phaser.
You can bring a knife. I'm not gonna bring a
Obvi-
knife.
Obviously, I'm
Yeah.
bringing knives. I have
Yeah.
a focus.
No,
on-
I'm good, and I
other
think
weapons.
Zadia is good too.
It's not you might only have a type 1
Yeah.
for emergencies.
No, I have a type 2.
You got type 2?
She's senior bridge crew, so she would have a type 2.
Yes.
Would I have brought one or no?
You would have
You
one
also
because
have a
you
type 2.
are not only are you a bridge crew or senior bridge crew, you're also the security officer. So a security officer. So you would have.
Yeah, I'm definitely not gonna walk in holding a type 3 like hey, here's the target.
Yeah. Yeah.
But so yeah, so just couple in the boots, one in the
Yes.
one in the chest area somewhere hidden, then the usual shit.
So,
Yep.
yeah. You arrive at the planet, of which I had the name and I have now forgotten. Oh yeah. The name of the planet is Chethera. World of. Okay. I have posted it in character. And I will copy this and paste it, not pen, in the Roll20 so that everybody in chat can see. So it's Chethera, the home world of Volterra. And there are quite a few ships here. Most of them are popping up as civilians on your sensors, but there are quite a few military ships as well. Um, or at least their ship. Some of them are military. Some are like ships that have guns attached to them. Most likely, either mercenaries or people who use those guns for money. Uh,
Yeah, okay.
you, brain. Another thing that you notice, the ship that you are currently being escorted by, the Dragovich. I almost said Dragonov. It's a sniper rifle. Um,
Do both.
the Dragovich is one of the biggest ships. It's probably not the biggest. They probably have a size 4, which is still one size smaller than you guys. Which is probably their biggest ship here. But you see a bunch of like size 2s, only a handful of size 3s, which is what the Dragovich is, and like 1 or 2 size 4s.
Okay.
It appears that you would know the Dentalian is not the biggest ship in Starfleet. In Starfleet. In fact, the biggest I think the biggest ship is the Enterprise. If not, Enterprise is one of the biggest ships. Which is, by the way, in this game, that's size 6. You guys are one size smaller than the Enterprise. So yeah, you guys are the biggest ship on the spectrum right now. Like you are bigger than anything here. By a decent margin. But for all intents and purposes, you are definitely outgunned here.
Yes.
Yeah. But yeah, you successfully. There is a space dock that you guys can dock into. Which again, the prince appears on your screen, and he tells you that I'm not entirely sure how you do this where you all come from, but we dock here at our space dock, and then we can take a transport down to the planet.
If that's what you prefer, we'll definitely
So,
follow
no
your
shuttle?
lead.
Okay, so no shuttles then. Okay.
So yeah, we can either send a shuttle ourselves, we can shuttle ourselves down, or if you prefer that method, we can do that too.
Depends if the space dock will
Allow for us to
accommodate
even,
a
yeah.
size 5.
I think technically with the Prime Directive, you guys would opt. We'd have to opt to do whatever they
Yeah, we
would
do what
normally
Yeah.
do.
If we can.
Yeah, we follow their culture as long as it doesn't break like our necessary rules or like hurt people. Like we follow
Yeah.
their culture.
Yeah.
So if we can
the
dock, we'll
most part.
dock. But if not, I'll take the shuttle to the space dock.
Yeah.
And take the
Um,
transport.
I relay that we'll attempt to dock to make sure that the docking mechanism is secure, given our technologies, and then if it is, we'll use your transport.
If not, I
It
will
should
shuttle us
be.
to.
So yeah, he nods and he says, "Of course, you do not have to worry about the space dock denying you access. The Imperial family owns it, so I will just tell them to approve your access."
Thank you.
And he closes down the communications. And
Mm,
some of the ships do have to undock to allow you
Yeah,
to
okay.
dock because
Sorry,
you are
excuse me. Excuse me.
you
Sorry.
Excuse me, coming through. Beep, 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 beep.
But yeah, you are able to.
Move, bitch, get out the way.
We're putting our deflectors up and just kind of
This is what a ship is.
driving through the ships, bouncing them out of the way. Coming through, off to your side, bounce.
But yes,
Show me good Sadler.
you are able to successfully make dock with the spaceport. And It's a quick ride in the turbo lift down. It'd be down. Anyway, you're able to get off of the ship. I don't remember where the exact point would be where you guys would get the airlock. Technically, I guess you'd be able to get there and out. Standing outside of the dock, where you guys would come out, is a woman. I do not have a picture for her, unfortunately. But it is a woman. She has a long blonde-haired ponytail that is like it's a very high ponytail. She is standing. She's actually. Sorry, who would be the? I can't remember. Who is the tallest one here?
Me.
All right. How tall is your character?
Did we just establish him?
Mine's like an average of like 5'11" ish.
You're 5'11"? Since when? I'm like 5'11", kind of.
Well, so most I think most races have the typical human height because of
Yeah.
So yeah.
Okay, so who wants
I'm
to be the
5'3".
tallest?
Who wants to be the
We can roll
I
off
think
if
this
we
is-
need to.
I don't need to be the tallest.
Who was the tallest?
I
Well,
I
don't
think
know.
Tavani was the tallest.
I think so too.
So we'll
I
see.
think I remember
Decided
Tavani being taller than Tavash, and Tavash is just over 6 feet.
Yeah.
Oh, you're over 6 feet up. I don't know.
So-
6'5"?
All right. So
Six.
she's
Fine.
Tavani. She's actually taller than you, though she's also wearing like 3-inch heels.
I'm shooting. I'm wearing combat boots.
Yeah.
Y'all checking the heel. It's like, what is this?
I can't. Not saying I can't run the heels, but I can. Obviously.
Yeah, she is slightly taller than you, though she is wearing at least 3-inch heels. And she is wearing. If you look at the picture of the prince once more, and I will pop it up on screen so everybody can look. Where he is wearing like the like blue and like dark blue tunic. She is wearing a very low cut, like practically to her navel cut dress. That on her shoulders it's red. It's dark red. Very low cut dress. On her shoulders, reaching down to practically like her elbows in length, is a, again, very dark red furred cloak. But you can't really determine where the fur is coming from. It's like the cloak itself is red, the fur is like black, and it doesn't appear to have been like dyed or anything. It, like whatever this is appeared to have been like naturally like pitch black. And she is she says, "Hello, my name is Victoria. Please follow me to His Highness's transport." As she just turns and starts to walk away.
I attempt to introduce myself, but I stop after she turns away because it seems like she doesn't care.
Yeah, so as she's leading you all, and she very
Understood.
much, yeah, she very much does not, she does not look like she wants to be here. And everybody, like, as you're, like, walking through, like, there are people in her way. She does not care, and they move. They move out of her way. They do not want to be in her way right now. As she walks into a fairly large and not populated. Well, yes, populated, but I meant fairly busy, bustling. That's the word I was thinking of. A fairly bustling hangar where everybody, when she walks in, all of the more militarily dressed people, when you walk into this room, the moment that they see her, they like straighten up. Some actually do give like a salute. which she would like nod to them. It appears that this woman is not sorry, trying to skip ahead a bit. The military people, like I said, give her the salute, but also the civilians also, like they look at her in reverence, like they know who she is, and kind of like a celebrity, like someone would look at a celebrity. And she leads you to a shuttle, a transport shuttle, and when she arrives, the prince looks at her and she says, he says, "Ah, Duchess Victoria, thank you for bringing my guests." And she just gives him a nod, like, I only did this because you're the prince."
Perfect. Duchess.
But yeah, Kyber, the prince. Actually, hold on, let me pull up his picture. There we go. The prince walks up to you and like sticks out a hand for you to like shake.
As the prince enters, I would like to spend, if the group is okay with it, one momentum to know what the current surface thoughts of the prince is right now.
Oh yeah, because you have that handy dandy.
I mean, as long as you're not seeing what's on Tavani's mind, then you get to go.
You have that
Go for it.
handy dandy open book tray, don't you?
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. All right. So yeah, you spend the momentum. So surface thoughts. The first thought that would have appeared kind of in his head is the fact he's saying kind of in his head, I hope she didn't cause any trouble with these people. I don't need another diplomatic incident. And then when he sees Kyber, he's like, "Oh, she is much prettier in person."
Aww. He's nice.
Wait for that.
Is he talking about
Don't-
Zadi?
Somebody's
Or
gonna
was
get
it-
those clothes after all.
He's
is-
he's
Silly
talking
guy.
he's talking about Kyber.
Yeah, no, Tavani's trying to steal the prince's clothes. She doesn't want the rest of the body.
I
But
forgot that Kyber was
if
a
Kyber
woman.
and
Oh
the
my god.
prince- Yeah, but if Kyber and the prince are in a room together, then obviously the prince doesn't have his clothes on, and Tavani can just take them.
I forgot Kyber was a
Or-
woman. Oh my god. Jesus Christ.
or a honorable prince would give me his clothes
Mhm,
as a
mhm.
keepsake.
You can have the prince. Tavani's
Yeah,
trying
on
to
your
get the
bedroom
Duchess,
floor.
though.
Yeah. I
I'm starting to
follow.
feel like infinitely more comfortable now that I know.
Yeah.
Silly guy.
I look over before the hand is stretched out. I kind of quickly look over at Zadia and kind of just do like a basic read of their demeanor, if that's possible, just to be like tense, not tense looking. Is that something that I can do to kind of get an idea of like whether cool? Should I roll for that or like a to know if I know it?
I'm
or
just
have an
gonna nod
idea?
at you like you're fine.
Okay, cool. Love it. Send it.
There you go.
I follow his mannerisms and stick out my hand. Pleasure, Prince.
The moment he
Again-
has, the moment he has
go
your
for it.
hand in his hand, he brings it up into a little kiss.
Oh.
Whoa. Out of respect, should I kiss your hand also?
Oh,
Out of custom?
there's no need for that.
I give a very accommodating nod, and I say thank you. Your hospitality, even here, your Duchess Victoria was very kind in getting us.
So 1 second. when he kisses
Oh,
the
yeah.
back of your, when he kisses your hand, you actually hear you hear the Duchess kind of scoff. It's like, "Ah, God."
Yes.
And then when you say that she was kind, she's like, you hear not a, she doesn't scoff, but you can definitely tell that she's surprised that you said that.
Yeah. Both ways, buddy. um yes. So not I thanked them for their continued hospitality. Uh Yeah.
Sorry, a fact of note that I forgot to mention, and I'm so stupid because I was. One of the things that you noticed while you were walking through this shuttle or through the spaceport, and it probably set off, might have set off a little bit of alarm bells for the security officer, maybe for you as well. Mumbles, this probably piqued your curiosity.
If the one was paying attention.
You would have noticed, there was at least they might have been teenagers, throwing back and forth what appears to be a ball of fire, just back and forth to each other.
Oh, that's cool.
Yeah, I picked up that on my visual radar too as being a little odd.
Obviously, I was only steering glances. I wasn't hard locked on her ass as she was walking, but like.
Just locked in.
Responsible for Fun Day adding a hot blonde and a navel slit dress, okay?
I'm like I'm like silently snapping between my behind my back, like, hey, focus.
But yeah, that is
Responsible Fun Day, please.
as
Can you have like characters?
and the reason why I mention this is because as you are shaking his hand and saying all that, you also see a again, it must be like another. It's definitely a group of teenagers. Well, what you can assume is teenagers, as they are coming off of a transport shuttle that just landed, and you see one of the kids is like whispering to like a group of kids, and you see another. Like, so there's two groups of kids. One of them, one of the kids from one group starts whispering to the others, and then you see in his hand, he snaps, and his entire hand catches on fire, and he just like throws it at one of the other kids in one of the other groups, and they get hit in the back of the head by this fire. They don't appear to have been hurt, but they like bring their head to their hand to their head, like rub it a little bit, and he turns around, and like he appears to be carrying like some kind of what you assume is now a water bottle, as it suddenly he like with his hand pulls water out of it and hits the other guy in the face with the water. The one that threw the fire, he hits in the face with a water ball.
Tavani chuckles under her breath slightly.
I'm just ah,
She's obviously still staring at the kids though, so keep an eye on the
We
children.
got a bunch of benders here.
yeah.
Where's the avatar?
Where's
I'm sure as a security chief, she's watching the crowd as they go by, and then stealing glances at the Duchess's ass. Make sure they. Yes,
That's cool.
Yeah.
Okay. Okay. She just.
I I make so how tall is the prince?
Shorter than me.
He stands at about 5'9".
The Duchess is fucking tall then, bro.
So he good. I like being taller for some. I look over at the children who are like throwing the fire in the water, and I'm like, that's an impressive feat. Can I don't mean to presume, but can everyone do that here? Create
Yes,
fire and
so it varies by family, but yes, for most. I do believe about a couple centuries ago, some asteroid exploded in our atmosphere and coated our world in. We call it the P particle. Some jokingly call it the PP.
Okay.
But yes,
I chuckle under. Never mind.
the element is determined mainly by, at this point, by family, by blood.
It's mainly this. It's this planet specifically. Is that right? You
Yes.
said because yeah, okay.
Yes, this planet's. You can tell how powerful blood is, and he kind of no, he doesn't. He wouldn't say the blood. He would say the power is by how by the glow of our eyes. The stronger the glow is, the more powerful someone is. As he
Interesting.
One
blinks
second.
at you with his glowing blue eyes.
I
I'm scribbling
I
this
take
down
note
right
and I go I compliment. Wow, I mean, I'm looking at the eyes of a lot of the people here, and I notice that yours are quite glowing, a
It's
magnificent blue.
Actually, I should say that a lot of the people here, there is only a very faint glow. Like, actually, the only other person whose eyes glow nearly as bright as his is Victoria's.
Oh, good. That works out for me. I compliment and was like, wow. So based on that, I can tell by the magnificent glow of yours and the Duchess's eyes that y'all have been gifted a stronger, I guess, to the relevant the gene or the of that power.
He nods and he says, I understand what you're trying to say." And he like looks over towards Victoria, who is like very obviously smirking at the two of you.
May I introduce real quick before we allow us into your castle? This is excuse me. This is my science officer.
Greetings.
Right, so that's your science is Zadia,
Yes. Yep.
and communication. My communications and science officer is Zadia, and then my security officer, only out of precaution and our current what's the word you know. Anyway, yeah, and this is one of my security officer, or just I just call you an officer actually, and this is one of my officers, Tavani.
Imani puts a hand on her chest. It's very good to meet you, Your Highness and Duchess. May I say, your dress looks very nice. Winks at the Duchess.
I can see that.
What?
Nothing.
Sorry, Nami and I are having fun in the chat, and it's distracting Harry.
Oh, no. Oh, yeah,
But yeah.
straight.
I did say Jenny made that little like Discord chat or something for all the people on the ship so they could get out their grief. There's just a hidden channel that is
I wasn't
only
reading.
to Vash and Jenny, and they're just, gossiping about.
I hope the Twine doesn't know about this. The Twine is gonna feel left out, man.
Well, you got to go on the planet, so.
Oh, is it just happening now, or has it always been happening? Because Twine's
No,
gonna
it's-
feel left out, man.
Are y'all just texting?
Jenny literally made the little
entire time?
Discord group thing like right before you guys went down to the planet. So it hasn't happened long, but 100%. If Jenny can watch and figure out what's going on, or just monitor comms, that's what she's doing, because she's nosy and needs to know.
I mean, you probably if you can watch, it's probably through something on Tavani because he's the tallest, so you'd have the best view.
You just have a body cam on.
It was done. The body camera is pointed mostly at the Duchess' ass as he's walking. That's besides the point. I mean, it's
Alright.
flicking back and forth. Obviously, look at the crowd.
But yes, so you do. Sorry, Kyber. What did you say last?
I just introduced.
Oh
Um,
yes.
I just said comms and science officer Zadia, and then one of my direct officers, Tavani.
The
I
principal.
did compliment her on her dress.
The prince will
Really
nod
good.
at you all. It is wonderful to meet you all. We haven't met anyone new in quite some time. It's nice to meet new people all the time. Victoria would look over at you, Tavani, after you gave her a compliment.
And winked at her. Fuerte.
Victoria is just like, she looks at you for a minute, looks you up very slowly, and then down.
I
And
flex
then-
as he's looking at me. I flex slightly.
And she just smirks at you.
Okay, that's either a good thing or a bad thing.
The world may never know.
Yeah, I can take it.
I hope it's successful.
And I kind of I get a feeling, a presence, and I really know that I speak up to say, given our first contacts, I want to make sure that we are being respectful of your time and of your customs. So if there is anything that does come up that seems disrespectful that we might have done, just feel free to let me know. That way we can alter our presence for y'all, and make sure that we don't do it again.
Of course.
I have to say, we do not have the ability to create fire and water, or move it around. So you
Understood.
don't have to worry about that.
No, he would say, understood. We'll keep you away from the fire.
Yeah.
But please, step onto the shuttle. We can off.
I nod to both the officers behind me, and we follow.
Yep.
Beautiful station you have here.
Sorry, hold on. I'm looking for something. And he says, "Oh, thank you. Yes, it's something that my ancestors made. No, sorry, something that my family made a couple 100 years ago, I do believe."
How many
Heads up,
how
we can
long
see
has
the L on
your
the tiny end of the screen on Steam
Yeah, I
on
figured.
stream?
I figured.
As you alt tab, we can see it.
Yep.
how long has have your people been spacefaring?
At this point, we've been spacefaring for about 400 years.
I nod. Not like roughly the same amount as us. Assuming our years are relative. General. I don't really have a perspective of their years, but I guess I guess it get across like a galactic time,
Mhm.
roughly.
Yeah, he would say 400 years, galactic years.
Galactic Ishi.
For reference, I just posted a picture of Victoria in the in character.
I'm like, settle down, settle down. All three of us need to settle down. Need to relax.
And 1 second, everybody on stream. It's not a perfect picture. This is mainly like an elf with what I was going for, but yeah, that's more or less what she looks like. She just looks more human than elf.
Yeah.
All right.
Is the Duchess with us?
Yes,
On
she
the
does.
transport?
She is with you all.
I look over and I formally introduce myself to the Duchess also. Duchess Victoria, my name is Kyber, captain of our ship, the Dentalion. Thank you for having us.
She gives you a smile, and she says, "Victoria, I am Victoria Firebrand, the Duchess." Well, but no, she would say the Duchess of Fire. It's a pleasure to meet you.
I extend out my hand in the same way as the prince did.
She will take your hand,
Nice.
give you a firm handshake.
I just give a handshake back. Not gonna kiss it. You gotta work for that. Do I feel the eyes being drilled into the back of my head of Tavani? Or Tavani's eyes?
Probably. I mean, that's up to Tavani.
Yeah. Tavani, are you you said just so I have my like I'm recalling things correctly. You were into the prince, or you were having eyes for the prince, right?
I do believe Tavani is. Crane is on a bio break.
Out of character. Sorry.
I'm here. Okay. No, I don't like the pencil, but two things. She can brand me, and also, would it be considered rude for me to also do the same thing that Kyber did, but perhaps kiss her hand?
You can definitely introduce yourself.
I'm not gonna. say
I'm not
anything.
good at introductions. Can we not?
I
roll with
stepped
this?
to the side for a moment and I was like, this is my crew. And I'll let you both introduce each other. Or you know.
You let Zadia introduce both her and Tavani.
Zadia's gonna be in trouble if Zadia tries that, man.
Why would I be in trouble? What am I doing? I'm not trying to flirt with anyone. I am.
Yeah, but she fucked this up, man. You might find your hollow books in the toilet or something.
Okay. Hearing that from your thoughts, I ain't doing anything. I'm staying over here.
Well, I didn't. It's not in my thoughts, bro. I didn't say I was gonna do that. So I didn't do what she wants. She wants to sabotage by flirting with the Duchess. I mean, balls in your court.
I'm just gonna have a courteous look over at Victoria and say, "Charmed to meet you," and then I'm gonna go back to looking forward.
I would say the pleasure's all mine, Duchess. I must ask you. I must find out where you got this dress from. It's absolutely ravishing. And then I would kiss her hand, obviously. I would send my hand. You know, send her hand, kiss the hand, you know.
Yeah, you would her hand. She says, "I had it specifically made."
Well, I can
There.
tell. It is absolutely form-fitting. Winks at her again.
Why, thank you. I do think I have a very good form. And she kind of like, I don't really know how to I don't know how to describe what she does, but she kind of like moves her shoulders left and right a little bit when she says she has a good form.
Like a shimmy.
Yeah, she kind of shimmies a little bit.
I just kind of keep my eyes forward. Their
I'm ready to
interaction.
go. I'm ready.
I'm like,
Change seats.
kidoki.
I'm ready to go.
May I?
Start flirting.
Yeah. Prince Dragon, how so we're on we're on the transport ship now, is that right?
Yes.
Okay.
Yes, you do, Duchess.
Yeah. Okay. I'm ready to I'm willing to just keep the silence. I just kind of study their like attire or their technology a little bit. Just kind of looking
Yes.
around at
So the attire, we'll first get into that. So their attire seems to be like medieval. Like there's definitely medieval elements to it. Like no one's wearing like plated armor or anything, but there's definitely like like I'm trying to think of how to describe this. Like it's finery. Like you could go to a Ren fair, and other than seeing like knights in medieval armor, people would be wearing what these guys are wearing. Like,
nice.
It's in the style.
yeah, it's in the medieval style of.
Mhm.
Thank you. That's what I was trying to think of. Though there is some what you would consider today's day, like modern era, not like Star Trek modern era, but 2025 modern era. Like I said, most back in those days, most women didn't have a dress that slits down to the navel, kind of thing. But she is so like there's a weird mix between the two of them, like medieval style and like modern style. The technology itself appears to be like 20. Hold on, I gotta remember when the first brain. Jonathan Archer. Yeah, it is Jonathan. 22nd century. Human. Like, yes, human, but like 22nd century Starfleet kind of technology here. For reference, it is the 22nd century would have been when the Enterprise NX-1 came out,
Mhm.
which would be United Earth's first full-fledged starship. So when when the Federation first made a starship, that is pretty much the era of technology we are working with right now.
Oh, okay. So we're a little bit of ahead.
You
in
guys
that
are-
sense.
Yes,
Cool.
you guys are ahead in that sense.
Sweet. So tell me, Prince, has your government, is it usually specifically ran by your family, or could you give me an idea of, I wouldn't mind learning more about some of your customs here.
Of course, especially if, depending on how long you guys will be staying here, this will be needed for you all to know. My family is the royal family, obviously the imperial family, if you wish to be specific. But we are not the only family in power. There are 7 other families that rule on a council. Kind of think of it as a checks and balances type of situation. My family can technically do whatever we want, but the council has to approve it first. Victoria's family, the Firebrands, are one such family. They kind of chuckles. Most people kind of consider them the Empress. Well, sorry, no, he wouldn't say that. He would say most people consider her the Empress of the Empire, and he kind of chuckles. Her family is the most influential on the council, next to my own.
Fascinating. Our area, if I'm correct, is kind of built in the same way. And of course, correct me if I'm wrong of my Star Trek lore, but essentially, it's a voted council, right? But it's still like Starfleet or the Federation.
So United Federation of Planets is it is democratic in yeah, it's a constitutional republic, so it's much more like
Yeah.
America. Berg.
Yeah. Like planet in space.
Yeah, it's just a bunch
Instead
of
of, like,
planets in space
states.
instead of states. Yeah, exactly.
So I give the prince a very brief breakdown of the Federation that we fall under and how some of the similarities are there. The only thing that we kind of don't directly have are familial houses, but that is mostly due to the high number of different alien species or species in homeworlds that encompass or that are part of our federation.
He looks fascinated and definitely interested in everything that you were saying. He looks, I would go so far to say as he is enraptured with what you were saying.
You
I
sure
do
you
have
didn't
a
take that
presence
pheromone
11.
trait?
No, it's my presence 11 that obviously has to be in that. My trying to see. Zadia, did you have any questions for the prince? I know that you've been itching to learn a bit more about him ever since we made first contact.
So earlier, when we were on our ships, there was mention of the House Kavash. What is the current situation between you and other factions within the system?
Currently, there is a uneasy truce between the Empire and those south of the brand neutral zone. Neutral zone. House Tavash tried to lead a coup. Fuck. Sorry, he wouldn't say fuck. Let's say tried to lead a coup about 100 years ago. Right when we all first discovered the technology to explore amongst the stars. They spread. House Travash was once a council house and spread far to the south. And they grew power hungry, wished to overthrow my family and rule as emperor. And when they were defeated, when them and their allies were defeated, we decided that instead of having houses and other factions who are disgruntled against the Empire remain amongst us, they were to be exiled. Not exiled. Well, yeah, no, he would say exiled. South of the neutral zone.
Understood.
Now, every once in a while, a faction will try and cross the neutral zone and either with force or by diplomatic means, and it depends on the faction itself in the south. But us in House Kavash, again, a uneasy truce.
So a ceasefire is what you're saying.
Yes, ceasefire would be a perfect way of describing that.
Understood. Okay. Is House Kavash also able to manipulate elements, such as the people that
Yes,
inhabit
they
this
are.
world?
They were, like I said, they were once a family here on the capital planet, a council family, much like much like Victoria is before their exile.
Okay. Earlier you mentioned about a meteor that has caused your abilities that has
Manifest.
basically caused your to manifest in this way. Are we able to visit that site?
The meteor itself exploded in our atmosphere, so there are a few sites where whole chunks of it landed, but if you wish to investigate, you can.
Just
But
a little giddy at that. I was just like, wow.
mostly, most of the air here was what was affected. Though I assure you, there shouldn't be any kind of uh, harmful effects on you all. We've had a few visitors to our home planet since we started exploring the galaxy, and no one has reported any kind of power symptoms. Kind of
Now, I
uses
assume
air
this would
quotes.
be more of a genetic modification.
Yes, we're not
Over time.
entirely. Yes, we're not entirely sure what was in the meteorite, but that is what our scientists believe as well. Is that it was some kind of genetic, either mutation or modification.
May I ask, is it all element or all like what like specific elements that
It's
you can manifest or control, or is it, or I guess it's one to
it's
one, certain person?
so everybody
Captain.
on Shatera is able to. Well, everyone from Shatera is able to manipulate an element. Uh, there are 8 elements that someone can manifest. There's fire, as he motions over to Victoria. There is earth. This can include metals as well. Sorry, he would say earth, which can include metals and plant life, as well as soil and dirt. There is, sorry, brain, air, which can also include oxygen and different gases as well. Though not all gases. We've noticed that some of the more kind of uses air quotes heavy gases on our planet that they are not able to manipulate. Though they are able to use other wind and the like to move the gases away. They say that the heavier gases are quite literally too heavy for them to move. Air. Then there is light. We have people who can manipulate light, usually through illusions and the like. We have water, as I'm sure you've noticed. Water, fire, and earth tend to be the three more populous. But water, they can manipulate any liquid substance. Then there is darkness. They can manipulate shadows and the dark. Then there is electricity. Usually we call them the house of energy because they are able to control all forms of energy and lightning. In fact, there is
Mitochondria.
not on that level. Usually it's more like plasma, thunder. Well, not thunder, but plasma, lightning. They're able to, for example, the shuttle is being powered as he kind of motions towards. There are 3 people currently, like in the front, and one of them, he motions towards the third one that is not currently sitting at like where you would expect the like co-pilot and pilot seat. The shuttle is being powered by a energy user right now. Most
Does
starships
all your
are
technology
uh
powered this way, or do you have other ways?
most are powered this way. Our power grid is a work of brilliancy from the House of Energy. They control. It's a self-sustaining energy source that powers all of the homes and all of the. All of the homes and all of our buildings and such on the planet, and is most of our stations and starships also have this technology as well. Though we have also produced, not produced. Well, yes, produced, but sorry, I'm trying to think of the word. The science word. Invented a way of storing the House of Energy's power so that others who cannot use this energy can power things that are not connected to the grid. Pretty much, they made batteries. They
Yeah.
invented batteries. And then there is my family, which is rare. Well, I should say. Then there is the 8th power, which is rare to only my family. We are able to control the element of ice. And as you kind of look on his head, you notice that his crown, now that you kind of see it, as you are also, I should mention, as he's saying this, you are also coming into the atmosphere. You actually notice his crown is made of ice and sapphires.
Ooh.
Well, thank you for all of that wonderful information.
Of course. And then he kind of like leans forward to you. Well, actually, all of you, except, well, he does lean to you too, Mumbles, because you all are kind of sitting behind him. But he's like, please, tell me, what makes your skin so green?
I have to be honest. No asteroid caused this. This is
Fascinating.
actually our base genetic makeup. You've always had green skin. Okay, hold on. I shouldn't be just going off of like a poor wiki that I know of Star
I
Trek.
can-
All right.
I can help answer this.
That would be good because I only know very very little that I read. So I will. I was like, that's a great question. If you'd like the full history of the green of my green skin, Zadia, our communications expert here, actually did a lot of studying about the history and can go into even more detail.
So, my captain and my fellow officer here, um, their species is called Orion, and they are from the planet Orion, right? Is it also
Yeah.
Orion?
Yeah,
Yeah. Okay.
that's all I know.
I didn't know if it was like something kind of different. But anyways, the Orion green pigment is photosynthetic. And green is the color of the skin pigment that's naturally found within all Orions. And this is due to the exposure to light with a color temperature of about 4,400 Kelvin, which can help boost an Orion's blood oxygen levels.
He's now looking at you enraptured. He's listening to what you're saying, and he's nodding, and you can tell that he is paying attention to what you're saying and is very much interested in what you are saying.
I'm also gonna pull up my. Is it called a transponder? The thing where you can,
Tricorder.
like have a little like tricorder. And am I able to pull up a little map?
Yeah.
All right, I'm gonna pull up a small section of a map within the Alpha Quadrant to show them like this is where the Orions are from, and relatively how far away
Yeah.
we are comparatively.
As you can see, we're more than just out of our element.
Yes, I can see that.
Have you ever experienced any culture far to the west of you in this direction? And I kind of like point and kind of circle the I have the map right here, but I can look at it. The Klingon Empire. I kind of circle that area.
On kind of he seems to think for a moment, and he says, "No, I don't think I've ever heard of a Klingon." As he like looks over towards Victoria, Victoria's like, "I've never heard of them." Given I barely paid attention to our. Sorry, hold on. Let me slip into her voice. She's like, "No, I've never heard of them before, though I never paid as much attention as I did, or as you did in our history classes." The prince rolls his eyes and he's like, "Yes, I know you cared about the military tactics." And Victoria's like, "As I should. My family runs your military." He kind of just,
something to talk about.
he kind of
Common
just,
ground. Go.
the prince just does the like, "Yeah, keep talking" hand motion. Like, eh.
And I'll have you know, oh no, I was gonna be like, we also have our hearts have 6 valves, so fun fact.
6 valves.
Yeah.
We only have 4.
Hey, that matches up with Zadi over here. I think.
Oh, and what race are you? Are you a Orion as well?
No,
Yeah,
my
she wishes.
race specifically is a Betazoid.
Oh,
I'm from the homeworld Beta Z, and then I'm also going to show that on the map as well, comparable to where the planet Orion is.
oh, wow. What's a Betazoid?
So, a Betazoid is more of a human-like race. The major difference, of course, is my black iris.
Oh, what's a
Um,
human?
Yeah. Have you ever had a vanilla wafer or saltine cracker, or it's kind of like that? No, I'm just kidding.
Oh yes, we have
Everything else is
saltines here.
Yeah. Well, you know, there's really
Imagine
good
someone
crackers.
much like you or
hours.
I. Humans look a lot like yourself or me, except they don't have glowing eyes and they don't have powers. But they're very persistent. They're a very persistent species.
Oh, that sounds very
That's all I can
bland.
It takes some time to learn things.
quite. But yeah. How much further until we get to the castle? Or
Oh.
there already?
Speaking of, as you asked that, he says, "Oh, it looks like we've landed," and he stands and yep. Sorry, I was reading something. So he stands and he motions for you all to head out the door.
I stand up and I will take the lead.
I happily follow.
I snap at Tavani under my at like waist level.
Snap at what?
No, just kidding. Yeah.
So-
So we make our way off.
Yeah. So as you exit, and so it looks like you have landed in, well, you've landed in a courtyard. There is about, looking to your left and right, you can see about 3 or 4 other spots that appear to be landing zones. But mostly this place appears to be, like, there's waist-high hedges. And by waist-high, I mean, like, someone who is about 5'8" would be waist-high to them. So someone shorter, it would be a little bit taller to you all, but, so yeah, like, waist-high hedges, that mark a path up to it's about midday right now, so it would be glittering. A very big and glittering castle that appears to be made out of ice. Some parts of it are, well, I should say, most of it is actually like frosted. So it looks like, it looks like ice that's been out, like an ice cube. Like how it has the like frost, like you can't see through the ice cube. That's what I'm trying to point here.
Oh yeah. Opaque and
Yeah, it's opaque. Thank you. It's like a white opaque. But the windows are actually like, well, what you can assume are supposed to be windows are actually like clear. But you get the feeling that it's probably not glass. It's probably like clear ice.
what's the temperature like in this on this planet?
On
the
the
weather?
planet, it is. Well, if you pull out your tricorder real quick, it tells you that the current air temperature around you is about 70 degrees Fahrenheit.
I show the I show the prints. I don't I hope you don't mind me pulling this out. It just gives me an idea of the atmosphere.
Oh, of course. He would say, "Yeah, of course. I do not mind anything to."
Amazing castle.
Oh, thank you. It's said that as long as a member of the Volterra, well, as long as a member of the Volterra line is alive and breathing, the castle will stand.
I nod with a intrigued look on my face.
Please follow me. As he starts to make his way towards the glittering castle.
I walk humming a tune. Very lightly humming.
All right, so
Earlier,
go ahead.
earlier, Prince Epitera, was it? Epitera, right?
Volterra.
Prince Volterra. Volterra.
Yeah.
Earlier we were talking about your own scientists determining like the origins of your elemental powers and whatnot. Is it possible that we are able to visit these labs and possibly gain a couple samples as well, so that when we're finally able to head back to our own world, we can just have for
Yeah.
our own records?
I will have to speak with my father on that, but I don't see why we couldn't.
Understood. Thank you so much.
Of course. Any kind of help in being able to determine our own origins is helpful. No one's entirely sure what as I mentioned earlier, no one's entirely sure what the meteorite was made out of. We can tell that it was not made out of anything, any planets that we've seen in our part of the galaxy. But as I've learned today, as he kind of motions towards all of you, space is bigger than what most of us all know.
Couldn't agree more.
All right. So, so you all make your way into the castle, and while you do notice a temperature decrease, it's not enough to make you cold. The way that I would think of it is like, imagine walking into like a cold classroom. So it's not like it's not freezing, but it might be a little nippy.
Okay.
But it's definitely like when you walked in here, you expected it to be like much colder, and it is not. In fact, all of you are probably wearing your long sleeves, so it might not even be that bad for you all.
Yeah.
No.
Mm-hmm. But maybe Tavani's one of those like gym shirts. It's like tighter and isn't like loose. So
Mhm.
you can see the muscles underneath, obviously.
Oh yeah.
You're wearing a muscled long sleeve shirt. Got it.
Well, I mean, it's obviously thermal, but like it kind of touch. It doesn't flop around. It touches so you can see how big the muscle and stuff are.
I was expecting it to be a lot colder in here.
Oh, it's warming up. It's warming up. Believe me, it's been
Yes,
warming up,
we
Captain.
we noticed back when we first built the castle that obviously having a castle made of ice is not exactly sorry, hold on. He would say, my family first noticed back when we first made the castle that having a castle of ice would not be what is the word I'm trying to think of? Hospitable to most people other than ourselves. So when we asked our friends amongst the firebrands to manipulate the ground a little bit. Underneath the castle is a open. Oh, sorry, I'm trying to remember what he would call it. An open, not a pit, but a open pool of uh, Chathira blood, would call it. Out of character. I'm trying to say lava. There's pretty much just an open pool of lava underneath this castle.
Yeah. I'll put in parentheses lava.
It's like burning liquid. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm trying to
Yeah.
pretty much it would,
Fire raw.
I was going to say lifeblood, but that's usually like blood inside of a person.
Yeah.
But yeah, it would be Chathira blood pretty much. And it warms most of the castle. There are a few places in which we specifically have kept it cold. But yes,
I just say under my breath. I always like it a little bit cool. Better than scorching.
I must say, this castle is quite the compliment to someone so fiery as you, Duchess. I mean,
this
she is a fire user. So.
yes, she says. Luckily, this is not my castle. It's just the prince's.
Well, I mean, if you want to show me your castle, I'd love to look at your wardrobe, among other things.
She kind of smirks at you and she says, "Maybe if you can prove yourself worthy, I can show you all my." Hold on, I'm trying to think of what she would say here. Prove to me that you are worthy. I will show you everything that I possibly could.
Let's go.
Oh, I'm okay. Thank you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna.
Like,
Thought he was
Walk
just
a little
like
faster.
behind the bag, like
I just want to know.
uh,
I just want to look at your plants.
what them plants do?
These are some nice leaves outside.
Mr. Leaves.
Yeah. What as we're walking through, like, what do we have? Do we have a specific meeting today, or is that being, or I guess what plans do we have today in our communications? I guess.
Yes, come this way. As he says, "Please come this way." As he leads you to a grand, pretty much what it appears to be like. So you walk into, it's a very grand room. When you walk into it, there are immediately what you can immediately assume is heraldry along the walls of this giant room. I would say it's probably 40, maybe 50 feet tall. And while there are windows in this room, pretty much everywhere on this wall is a heraldry of some kind. In fact, the drapes in this room is a heraldry along some of the windows. And the prince says, this will be where we are going to be having our meeting. I just need to go and inform my father of your arrival. If you do not mind waiting here momentarily.
No, of course.
He says, he actually will turn to Victoria and say, do you have any other plans for today, or and she like raises her hand and she's, I have to meet with my father as well. If you wish for someone to babysit them, you're gonna have to get someone else. He he chuckles and he says, never. I would never ask you to babysit. I would ask you to entertain. She just rolls her eyes as she chuckles at him. She says, either way, I have to leave as well. We'll turn to you all and say, unfortunately, it appears I have to leave you alone. But please, I will have to leave you alone.
You can make yourselves comfortable.
But please make yourselves comfortable. I do ask that you do not leave, only because it'll be impossible to find you again if you take a left instead of a right. But yes, he motions over to his, well, technically now would be his left as he's walked into the room and turned around to you all. There is a fireplace that is currently going, and there are very lavish couches and seats for you all to sit. The middle, let me explain this room a little bit. So in the middle of the room, which would be behind the prince at the moment, is a very long table. Probably would guess, like, think brain. I would say, like, think like a dinner table, but longer. Like, the table itself takes up
Is it like
most
a
of
war
this.
room?
Yeah, it's like a war room. That would be perfect. Takes up most of the space in this room, but there is like a small section off to your right that appears to be for a little bit more like comfy area.
We'll sit there.
Yeah. And he says, I will be right back. I apologize.
All right. And there's a window in this room, right?
Yes, there are multiple windows.
All right. I'm gonna take a quick look outside the window and take in the general area of where we're at.
Yeah, so outside of the window, it is entirely up to you if this surprises you, Theta, or not. But it's a garden. Except it's
Okay.
not like a garden that you would see on Earth. All of the flowers here appear to be made out of ice.
Okay.
And you can see some of the petals, quote unquote, of the flowers. Like, there's a walkway. Like, it's a garden that you can, like, obviously walk through and enjoy. Some of the quote unquote flower petals are, like, on the ground and are, like, floating in the wind. Or being, yeah, you get what I
Huh.
mean. Like, they're floating in the breeze.
So it's not just a decorational ice garden. It could actually be actual flora.
Flora. Yeah, it looks like it at least looks like it's actual flora.
Hmm. Interesting. Are there any like plants that are similar inside of the room?
Yeah, definitely. There would be, you would recognize them as tulips. They look like tulips. That are sitting in like the more comfy area. Pretty much like there's a table. Well, there's the fire on the back, like on the wall, and then in the center of like where the chairs and couches are, there's a table that has like a vase in it that has one of these. Well, actually, a couple different of the flowers uh, in the vase.
Okay. So, upon like closer inspection, am I able to possibly at all determine that this is actual flora or if it's just ice?
So you touch it, it feels uh, it feels slick like ice does, but you can like when you rub your finger like up and down, you can feel like the slickness to it, and you're like, oh, this is just like ice. And then you like move your finger left and right, and then you feel texture, like as if you were like grabbing an actual like flower petal, and you're like, that's a little weird. So you smell it.
That is weird.
It smells like a flower. For all intents and purposes, this is an actual plant, not just a creation.
Wow.
And then you notice
Okay.
also on the table, there are, well, what you probably could assume is some kind of fruit or food, as there is like a bowl of round objects in the bowl. That at first
Hi, Matt.
you probably would have just shaken it off as like, oh, this is just like decoration because it looks like they're made of ice. But you're like, maybe that's like food.
I'm not going to try and eat it as food as it's not directly given to me. Um, but I will keep note of that for later.
Yep. The rest of you, what are the rest of you doing? Well, you see Zeta is like messing with this flower that you probably all first thought was just decoration.
Are we checking in with the bridge or what are we doing? We can check in with the bridge.
That is up to you.
I'm curious what Jenny and Tavash would be
Uh,
telling us.
Yeah. Oh yeah, I can go first. Yeah. So, I messaged the bridge, letting them know that everything so far is secret code word peaceful. We have arrived at the castle. Thank you, and are awaiting our meeting with the presumably king of this land or of this space, or group of people. While I await their response, I'm just gonna, or while I'm saying this, I'm looking over heraldry, all the different I guess old, or I guess original, or their
Yeah.
coat of arms essentially.
Hmm.
And just kind of I'm looking at those and seeing if I can like match that up to maybe things I might have seen in the past or anything like that.
Sorry.
Similarities looking for.
Yeah, you actually notice a couple surprisingly human like heraldry here. Like you swear you see one that's like supposed to be a unicorn. It's a horse, multi-legged horse, but it's a horse with a horn sticking out of its forehead. You see what is like apparently supposed to be a kraken or an octopus of some kind, as it is an 8-legged creature that is tentacles. See a couple of like
I
mythological
do have
creatures.
focuses in his history too.
Yeah. Roll me. Yeah, you can roll me something. Roll me a. what would this be? Actually, you tell me. What would you want this to be? For what kind of role are you trying to make here?
I guess I'm trying to make.
If it's, I would say if you're trying to see if you recognize any of the heraldry as if you've seen it before, which I think that's what you
Mhm.
said, it would
Yeah.
definitely be reason. I would say command. Oh no, well, yeah, let's say command. Reason plus command. That would make
Okay.
the most sense here.
Complication 1, task roll 2. Is that right?
Mm-hmm. So before you roll, typically you're gonna want to wait until I tell you the difficulty
Oh,
because you're gonna want to buy dice.
You're totally right.
The
Hold on a
difficulty is
second. Let's
4.
just delete that.
Yeah. I'll let you
hold
re-roll
on.
that. The difficulty for
Yeah,
this
that's
roll is
my fault.
4.
Okay. Now I know. Let's see.
And you do have a focus, so you can, when it says focus used, you can say yes to that if you didn't already.
Focus. Yes. Then. Okay. And so you buy dice with momentum?
Yes.
Okay.
So the first die that you buy is 1 momentum. Then the second buy you buy is 2 momentum for a total of 3. The third die you buy would be 3 momentum for a total of 5. And then I forgot my
It
math
just
is.
goes up.
Yeah, it just goes up. So to a max, you can only roll a max of 5 dice total.
Oh, okay, I get you. And we have 4 or 6 momentum. No, we did
have-
the hidden, but it wasn't. But it didn't count for.
Yeah, you have 4 because you asked a question. I can't remember. Someone asked a question. I think it might have been you. You spent a momentum to ask a question.
Okay. Is everyone okay with me using? Well, because that means if I use 1 momentum and get 3 dice, I still have to get a crit on one of them and pass the others, right? Is that how
Yes.
it works, since it's a difficulty 4.
So yeah, to get a difficulty 4, you would need 1 dice to appear as a 2, and then you would need either 1 dice to appear at 2, 2 dice to appear at 2. Oh, sorry, 1 dice to appear at 2, the rest to appear at 1, or you would need 2 dice to appear at 2, and then the third one doesn't matter.
Okay.
So it is up to you all if you are okay with him spending your momentum. Because that would be
That's fine.
3 momentum.
Because that
to
would
get-
take us, yeah. So we'll have 1 momentum left. See, I don't think I have anything that helps. Well, actually no, untapped potential.
Yeah, untapped
You gain a
potential.
bonus momentum
Gain a bonus momentum.
if it matches.
Yeah, if it matches. Equal to, if you roll less, equal to or less than the chosen attribute, which your attribute would be reason. So if you roll less than or equal to your reason, then you gain a bonus momentum on the roll.
Yeah.
Oh well, on
I
when
can't
you
use it for it, but it's just more like a
Yeah.
back.
Yeah.
But if I roll higher, I get a threat.
Yes.
Okay.
This comes into untapped potential comes into play whenever you buy a die. So if you at least
Oh,
buy
okay.
1 die here, this is going to come into play.
Okay, cool. So we're good with me using 3 of the 4? Or not, it's okay. I'm more than happy just to...
I know that Mumble said she was fine with it. I'm guessing no one else is raising any protests. So
What of what?
Alright.
I was talking to the bridge. What?
Dude,
He's stealing my tricorder for some reason.
I don't have one. I have to talk to the bridge.
How do you not have your own tricorder?
That's
Technically, a tricorder is for scanning. The little badge on our chest is a communicator.
I had to listen. Okay, never mind. But
The badge I
Good
forgot
point.
to put on my model.
maybe.
it's just the camera. You're just facing a different way.
Oh, that you're on
Alright.
my chest. Okay, they're looking through my titties. What am I protesting now?
It's okay that I use some of our momentum.
To look around?
It's to yeah, I know it sounds like that. To to try to investigate the coat of arms and see if I can identify any that essentially we may have seen before or renditions of one.
I don't see why not.
Yeah.
Go for it.
All right. We'll see. So I'm gonna change the task roll to 4, correct?
yes, because you bought 2 dice.
Yeah. Focus, yes. Task 4. Oh man, I'm about to blow all this. I'm sorry, guys. We'll see.
3.
Oh damn.
Let me see.
But does it have to be on a success? Oh, when I succeed. Boo.
Let me look at them real quick.
So those 3 ones you rolled were 3 successes, and then the overall roll is dependent on how many successes Aaron believes you need to succeed at the task.
4, which is yeah.
Okay.
Did not succeed.
Apparently they do not have anywhere like you can re-roll die.
That's okay.
Yeah.
Sometimes some captains fail their rolls, other captains break their necks.
So what I'll give you something. I'll be nice. You didn't succeed on the roll, but I will give you something. One of them looks familiar to you. You're not sure where. It's like right on the tip of your tongue, but you just can't remember where it's from.
Okay.
You're not even entirely sure where you remember it from. Well, no, you got 3 successes. You're fairly certain it has something to do with your family, but you're not sure in what capacity.
Okay. I'm just gonna remember the place of that one in case I want to call back to it later or ask someone.
All right. So that's what Luke's doing. Tavish, we're gonna quickly look over at you. I'm not gonna call it a scene change, but we're gonna quickly shift over to you real quick.
Mm-hmm.
You're in medical right now, correct? Or
thought he
would
was
that
on the
where I
bridge,
would
to
be?
honest.
All right. In walks a familiar face. Andrew Jackson. Ensign Andrew Jackson
it's going
walks
down.
in.
By the way, I get communicator text updates on Gossip.
You'll have to look up the
Not in our
ground
secret chat, you don't.
slightly before standing up, putting on a blank face, and saying, "Is there a medical emergency?"
He he's staring at you like he doesn't well, yes, he stares at you for a moment, but he looks uncomfortable and he says, emergency no, but I'm in need of medical aid.
All right.
As he kinda,
what are your symptoms?
Shifts on his feet. 1 second, hold on, I gotta relook up his symptoms. He has a specific thing. Um, he tells you that is it all right if we talk about this in private? As he kind of like looks around, you are like standing in the middle of medical right now.
Mm, fine. Come with me into my office.
He follows you.
Now, what is this about, Ensign?
You see, when we, sorry, no, last night, when we were all, everybody on the crew was kind of celebrating still being alive, and let's just say some things happened, and I need to be tested for diseases.
Yes, fine. I'll have Nurse Reeves come in and give you a quick once over.
Thank you, Chief Medical Officer. As he like shuffles his way out and past you now.
Savash will send a quick message over to Nurse Reeves, who is the nurse that Savash had take care of Ensign Johnson's injury before. And then go into reviewing what knowledge he has of let's say of sensitive nature diseases such as mentioned. If there's one person with it, there's possibly more, so looking at a possible outbreak.
Correct.
Next thing you know, everyone's gonna have little pamphlets being handed out with their paychecks.
On my ship.
If you need testing, we're doing it free every Tuesday and Thursday at 12 o'clock at noon. Come get lunch and a test.
The anonymous.
Anyway, so the nurse comes back to you, not in a panic, but she looks hella confused at the notepad that she has in her hands right now. And she says, Chief, I've got some weird results here.
Savash will hold out his hand.
She hands you the notepad, and it's a blood panel. The name on this blood panel is Andrew Jackson. What's weird about it is that the computer is coming back saying that Andrew Jackson is pregnant.
Savash just sort of sets it down, looks at the nurse, and goes, "Run it again."
That is the third time I've run it.
Savash puts his hand up to his head and just sort of massages his nose for a moment. All right. Tell him he needs to be put under observation for 24 hours and give him a sedative. We'll have to do a more in-depth scan and start research. Keep this quiet. And yeah, do not inform the other nurses.
She nods. Says, okay, whatever you say, Chief.
So, something Tavash might know, technically some cancers do show up with like they give false positives to pregnancy.
Savash will be
might be
aware of
something
that,
he
but
could
then
also-
he still has to go into research to see possible causes. He has to do more scans,
Yeah.
try to find specifics, and also the fear of what exactly happened here. So he's going to start looking through records and such.
To be fair, you did. There's also the like sitting in the back of your mind. You did bounce off some kind of spatial anomaly. Who knows what kind of medical thing that happened? But yes, so that's happening. Jenny, let's move over
How
to
much-
you quick. Go
How much of everything going down on the in the castle or whatever would she actually have access to? Like, would she be able to listen into any of the comms or any of that, or just
You
whatever they relay back?
No, you'd be able to listen in onto the comms. And as for video or anything, that's up to Tavish. If Tavish would have brought like a body cam, because it's entirely
Not
possible
Tavish.
you could.
Tavani?
Avani, sorry, I'm looking at the wrong person in my list of people here. Yeah, if Tavani is wearing like a body cam or anything. But-
So,
Yeah, for now we can just assume that you're listening to comms.
okay, so Jenny has a little notebook, or she's got a notepad in front of her where she's like drawing her notes. It's got little engineering doodles all over, but it's also got little like kissy face doodles of like Kyber and the prince on it. Because she's just monitoring this whole thing and taking notes. And she's like, as she finishes a doodle, she's like screenshotting it and sending it to her little hidden chat with Kyber and Zod, or not Tavash and Zadia, and be like, update, new doodle. She's just
How-
being like,
How detailed is this doodle? Because a part of me thinks it's like something that's written on like the table of a macaroni grill, like in crayon. It's like, oh, look at that kissing.
well, considering
I
around
like
the fact
this.
that Jenny I mean, a large part of like engineering and stuff is blueprints and stuff like that.
That's true.
It's probably a little more squarish or blueprinty, but you can assume it's
Stick figures,
pretty
yeah.
I
detailed
to
because
think
like
that
blueprints
it's
get detailed.
just us, but as ships with hair.
That's how Jenny
This is
sees
how
the
I see
world:
them.
is spaceships with hair.
I mean, not just spaceships, like a little Kyber engine with pink hair.
Yeah.
The prince is just like, the prince is just like, I don't know, some fancy desk chair, but with a little crown on it.
A freezer.
I don't know. Her drawings just get more elaborate, and once she knows that everybody's like safe, her drawings just get like more unhinged. She's got a little bag of like popcorn next to her. She's just waiting to see I mean, she's still prepared to do her job as she needs to, but at this point she's like, yeah, we gotta wait for at least some people to finish getting laid before we can move on, so that's about her life right now.
Perfect. I love it.
Right. So back down on Le Planant. What is Avani doing, Crane? If we're back. Crane is not back. Okay, then we will move on. Wrong button. So walking in, there is the prince. He comes in smiling at you all. Says, everyone, my dad said that you are... Sorry, not dad. He would say, my father has said that you are all... sorry, brain. My father has entrusted your care to me and has bid me to make sure that you are all safe and comfortable during your stay here, and to grant you mostly everything that you would need. Miss Zeta, you said you wish to get some samples. I can take you to the the laboratories. Kyber, I can't remember if you wanted to do anything.
I was actually just gonna ask about the heralds.
Yes. Then he would say, and Captain Kyber, I have been bid to spend my day with you in whatever manner you believe is fit.
I nod. I don't crack a smile, but I nod and out of, I guess, intrigue, and also just, oh, nice. That sounds great.
I'm also obviously available to answer whatever questions that you may need.
Perfect. Same also. I'm sure you have questions about where we come from, so I'll try to be as much as an open book as possible.
Yes, I did have a question. How do your
Mhm.
ships move?
Great question. Let me get you a more detailed account
Mm-hmm.
because I want to make sure that I give you the most accurate information.
Of course, I love information.
I text I text Jenny, quick. How does that work? Engine. Or I mean, I should know how it goes. I actually have 4Con.
But you should know the basics, because if you're
Yeah,
gonna text Jenny, Jenny's gonna send back copies of blueprints and then also
Yeah.
doodles of like ship engine turns on, picture of engine Kyber with the pink hair, ship goes fast, warp speed, little like doodle of a dark hole or something, and send it off and be like, here you go.
Yeah. Second. I'm not gonna lie, this feels like an interview. I have not ever looked up how they actually work, but essentially, I go into detail about how, our internal, I guess, energy, because it's I guess the power plant built inside of it and how that works. And then I go into a bit more information on like when we jump different star systems, called warp driving, or essentially a warp drive. We're able to achieve faster than light speeds, but in doing so, it pretty much creates a bubble around us in this like subspace, and then we're able to maneuver through different points.
That's so
While we're
fascinating.
in this type of warp, we don't really have much control. It's more of just a straight line. So you can imagine that if something is in the way, that's not a good thing. We can't really get out of it or even have time to adjust ourselves.
Oh, that's we call that the warp drive. We call it the loop system because it loops in circles,
Oh wow.
and then faster than light. We call that star show.
I love it. That's really cool. Or
Because
I
it's
say in a very more open manner.
yeah, because it's the stars they're showing up.
He's just a silly guy.
He's
Just let him
a
fill with
silly
silly
guy.
people.
I worry for their scientists.
Something yeah. um yeah, we have an amazing engineer on our ship. They could give you a more detailed account of everything. Albeit it might drive you slightly insane based on what they give you, but I can tell you that, if I was a smarter person, I'd be able to break that all down for you.
Oh,
I more or less.
I'm not a very smart person either. I surround myself with people who are smart to make myself better. Though I have to
Pretty
admit,
much describes the captain's seat, which I sit.
he chuckles and he says, I have to admit, if everyone on your ship is as interesting as you, then I'm sure you have a very interesting crew.
Thank you, and I've grown fond of them in art.
And in your 8 hours together.
Yeah, he doesn't need to know my tenure or anything.
Sorry, that was just Aaron being like, I've grown fond with my time together. Your 8
Yeah.
hours together.
Yeah, 8 hours, but hey, thousands of light years traveled, or
Millions.
several light years traveled, in theory.
In theory, yes. Alright, so.
Yeah.
Not too long after you guys, he says that a man comes in to the sorry, brain. A man comes in to the thank you. Nami has to leave soon, sorry. Sorry.
You
So
can wrap it up.
I
Bruce,
mean-
it's fine.
yeah, a man comes in and a man pokes his head in, and he says, Dragon, there's something I forgot to mention. And Dragon turns around and he says, oh, father. Everyone, this is my father.
I stand
Do we have any
to
momentum
attention.
left?
Have
Or
one
I
momentum
stand
left.
with respect. Oh, attention. He's not my captain.
Jenny's drawing this dude as a throne chair.
Just a bigger chair.
This is Emperor Jared Emp Volterra. And the man gives you a
No,
head nod.
Maddie.
Oh, wow.
And he just says that the scientists are not available. There will be a scientist up here to very soon to show your guests around the labs. The prince just says, yes, thank you, father. I was going to escort them myself, but if someone is going to come up, then that means I don't have to. And the prince just kind of nods, or not the prince, the emperor just nods. Yes, he's very squished. There, now he's flat.
I nod and I approach the. Do I get the vibe that I can approach the emperor a little bit?
Yes.
Seems not. So I approach the emperor and I introduce myself and the crew. I really need to write this down because that was.
No, you introduce yourself, and he says,
I introduce ourselves with our ship name, my
Yep.
name, and our roles. Except I call Tavani's role just
officer.
officer,
Uh,
and then and I thank him for our hospitality and compliment the prince and the duchess.
he gives you a bow, a very small one, but he gives you a bow, and he says, "It's always good to meet neighbors. Always good to meet our neighbors in the galaxy. You can never have too many friends." As no, he wouldn't stick out a hand for you to shake. He would just say that. But he would give you a smile.
I nod and smile and I agree.
And Mumbles,
of
you were
our-
asking. Sorry, one second. Mumbles, you were asking about how much momentum we have. Do do you want to use your 1 momentum that you guys have to do a thing?
If the group is okay with it, if they don't plan on using it for later.
To be fair,
I'm good
this
with
is the end of session, and you guys will be starting with 0 anyways, so...
Might as
Okay,
well.
Then, might as well, yeah.
Yeah, so the surface thoughts of this man as he comes into the room is... The first thing that pops into his head is that his son is an nincompoop, and that's the better version of what he's thinking.
Ugh.
And that he really needs to his son needs to listen to what he's saying. And then the next thing that he's as you're watching him interact with your captain, he's thinking a multitude of things, mainly why is this person green? Why is their hair green? Why do they look the way they do? I shouldn't be. Oh, sorry, your hair isn't green; it's blonde. Sorry. Why is well?
No, but Zadia's hair is green.
Yeah, Zadia's hair is green, so he would be thinking that of
And
you.
Kyber's hair is pink.
Yep. And then he'd be thinking, I probably shouldn't judge, as long as they aren't the fun guy. And then he thinks, as he's interacting with the captain, especially when he says, can never have too many friends, you also hear in his head, it's always good to have more friends. And in his head, he thinks, and bad to have more enemies.
Nice.
Yeah,
We're in a good spot. Cool.
correct. As that close out the night, we're at no momentum. Everybody has done things.
Some more
was-
productive than others.
Some more productive.
I'm waiting for this crew fan art.
No need to.
Okay, I'm not gonna draw it myself, so if you actually want to see it, you gotta find yourself a commission artist.
All right.
Yeah. But yes, that is.
Wait a second. I know someone who draws.
I hope you all had a good session. You all liked the session.
Yeah, hope we did well.
Of course, you did
Yeah.
well.
I feel like we
That's
did really
good.
good.
You all did well.
I'm mostly just gonna remember
Mhm.
the memes from this.
Mostly,
I mean, I've already shown Bells what my notes for this session are.
I'm concerned. I'm
Oh.
concerned.
Mm-mm.
Like Tavani deciding to take my tricorder and then just scribbling on it.
Then that's scribbled on it, bro.
Hold on a second. I need to do something.
All right, I am going to end the stream. Actually, let's see if there's somebody to wait. I know that. You know what? Streaming. It's been a while since I've rated him. This is an art friend that my friend Chaos rated and introduced. Grade him doing art.
Oh, you
Uh,
can ask about a commission. You have art.
As per
What is
usual.
the, what is the commission?
Hey, can I commission an
Me
engine
and the
kissing a
Duchess
chair?
and fucking.
By the way,
Kyber
the
and
engine
commission?
needs a hat, or it needs the pink hair, and the chair needs
As
to
per
have a little
usual,
crown.
everybody, I hope you all had
Oh,
a
bro,
you
fantastic,
just-
awesome,
oh,
splendid,
oh,
amazing
not
day,
just
evening,
fucking
night
Johnny,
times in
bro.
the stream, and I will catch you all
Oh,
next
Kyber's hair-
time.
So
Bye-bye.
Kyber's hair is more silver, actually, like white.